horsey.
Is that really
All right.
how we're starting off?
I think we
here?
started.
Everybody, I'd
Welcome
like
Behind
to
the Mask.
introduce you to Mr. Nathan Basil.
Hello, I'm Nathan Basil. I played Leslie Vernon in the film.
Who's up next? Little Angela Goethals.
We got Tag.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Angela Goethals.
Tiny Angela Goethals.
Thank
What did I
you.
say?
I play Taylor Gentry.
Angela Goethals.
And I'm going to pass the mic to...
Hey, what's up? This is Ben Pace. I played Doug.
I am Britton Spellings. I played Todd Best, although somehow Best got left out of the credits.
Tragically.
Not even on IMDb.
It's not
But
even
it-
Todd's second.
I'm merely Todd now.
It helped him with a lot of his backstory, a lot of his character research, did it
By
not?
the end,
I
they
didn't
changed
really
it.
know who I was.
You know, and with the best, it really sort of, you were able to...
I felt better.
Yeah.
Hey, there's our names.
Hey,
Wow.
Todd's
Oh,
second
mine
best.
came up and I
not at
missed
all.
it.
You missed it.
Yours was awesome. It was first.
You missed the Nathan
at
Basil
South by
train.
Southwest, they
You were
they all
running a
clapped.
little
People
late.
were totally into it.
And thank you so much for.
And there's
I've still
Kate
got
Lang
those emails,
Johnson.
by the way.
Nice.
The
Katie Lang
lovely-
Johnson.
I mean,
coming out.
The
text
lovely-
messages. Yeah.
Who can wear orange better than any woman
Scott
I've
Wilson.
ever
She's
seen,
incredible.
I think.
At wearing orange?
No one can wear that shade.
That,
Oh, it's
that is an
insane how she
actual
pulls that
dumpster.
off.
I just want everybody to know that dumpster.
No dumpsters were injured.
That was a stunt dumpster. That was not an
That's
actual
true,
dumpster.
actually. Oh, because that
I was
one-
told it was an actual dumpster.
No, we just
I
didn't.
was told it had actual trash in
We
it.
wanted
Yeah.
you to act like it
Absolutely
was
not.
real because we were a little concerned if you knew that
I
it
was-
was.
I'm
it
not
had
in the
fake
scene.
trash.
This cut actually was. This was never in the original cut of the film.
That's
Yeah.
that we
right.
saw.
Robert
That's
Englund
right.
is in the movie. Big ups.
Yes,
Big
he
ups.
is. What?
She's confused.
What's going on? I'm kind of scared, but kind of not. I'm sort of strong-willed, but let's see
Now,
what
when
happens.
did we shoot? This scene occurs at the beginning of the film, but we shot this like very well into our.
Yeah,
The diner.
This was about the second week, I think, late end of the second
Yeah.
week.
Behind the
This was when
mask.
Robert Englund came out.
That's
Right.
right.
We shot this right
Leslie
after we
Vernon.
did that scene.
It
earlier
was
with
the
him.
1100th day of rain. There.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were only there for
this
the
was
last
the
24.
This
but-
was the
This
first
was the
stuff shot.
first stuff shot.
The very
It
first
was.
stuff.
Any word on what WQHS is? I've been asking Scotty. He won't tell me.
Do you think it is something or
West-
just a random
It's West Quijones High
configuring
School.
of words?
It's West
of letters,
Quixotic
rather?
High School.
I was supposed to
Nice.
use that word, dude.
Oh, Quixotic?
Way to
Yeah.
take his word.
I actually,
We'll try to
Way
get
I
it.
to,
think
way to
it was.
just take his
No.
word.
I think it was
I
the
don't
Now,
radio
wh-
station
when-
where Scott
when
went
was
to college.
this all
Actually,
shot?
This was done after the movie.
You should know this
Was
is the
it?
actual
Or was it
lake
before?
or whatever
It was
where
done
they
after.
filmed Friday the 13th.
Really?
Or was it done before?
I think it was
And
done
this
before.
is some other
I
stuff.
think you should check your sources.
That's the actual
That's
Elm
the
Street.
actual Elm Street.
That
from
is
the
the
movie.
actual Elm Street
Let's all say
house.
it.
We were never there. We were
No.
never there.
This was
It's
B
not really
campus,
That
for
is
sale.
Kane Hodder
Kane
standing
Hodder.
in front of the Elm Street house.
who many people might know as actually Jason Voorhees.
Wow. That was when I realized this film was legit.
Right? Once you saw it a year later.
No,
and
once
saw it,
Kane
it was-
Hodder was in it
Oh.
in front of the Elm Street house, I was
Right.
like, wow, we actually made a movie.
It was so self-referential at that point.
Yeah. Well, you know,
It was behind the through the inside the mask.
Kane Hodder's
On at
presence
least
and
4 separate
Robert Englund's presence in the movie just
No.
raised it to a whole new level conceptually.
That was the one of those was the Elm Street house.
And
we actually hired a
actually had
guy.
a stunt person swing the tire swing before every take. Just, you know.
Just
was,
right.
There was a special person hired for that purpose.
It needed to be done.
He
It-
wasn't
it did.
paid, but
It did.
was-
I have to say, I was a little disappointed that they cut the scene where the wind was blowing so ferociously in Portland, Oregon, that every time I opened my mouth to speak, I got a scarf of hair in my mouth, and you couldn't see my
bridge.
face. We were on a bridge
Yeah.
in some random spot.
Yeah, that was one of the
and
first days we shot. too.
I was
That was
trying
a
to
great
continue my
bridge.
interview.
Not
and
good for doing scenes in front of or
No,
on
no,
top
not
of,
so
but-
much. But as soon as I embraced the fact that my face would not be visible behind my hair, it was actually kind of
It's all
fun.
right. It's just the beginning of the film. We don't need
Thanks.
to see your face.
Oh,
And here
you
you
know what I
have the
think's coming up? I think this is coming up.
A little
This is the
Pace face.
First time that
Oh, the Jason.
Ben Pace does not grasp the concept of no Pace face. He keeps
you don't
trying to turn his head so the camera can see him.
Look, this was early on. I didn't quite realize that I was not supposed to be seen at all. Once I grasped Zero Pace face, I embraced the Pace
That
face.
was
Zero
4
Pace
weeks
face.
into a 5-week shoot.
Look, I figured it out by the end.
Look, guys.
Little Ange wore those
His,
gloves
his
until
hand
they
will
were,
work its way in.
I lost those.
They were
gloves,
ferociously
by the way.
stolen by.
They were ferociously stolen.
Oh,
by-
what's going on over
We
there?
also
There's
had a
twig.
man move that
There
twig.
was a guy
We
moving the
did.
twig.
We had a massive crew.
This was kind of choreographed. This.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a lot
if
of
you,
gear
if you
that
boil
day,
it down,
actually.
movie magic is just a bunch of people moving shit.
Just
You
a
know?
bunch of dudes
Right.
behind things.
Yep, there was a dude.
Oh, that was a
behind
guy up
there.
there.
That was a total guy.
Yeah.
See, I'm running with all that extra jazz. I was like a G.I. Joe guy with too many, weapons.
You were like a tourist with a
People are like, "Who are you? You're not really in this movie."
You
hound
can pick.
fanny pack.
In G.I. Joe, you were gung ho.
You can pick the
That's the
image
guy
you'd
that had
rather
the
be.
little
The
junkyard
G.I. Joe guy.
grenade launcher.
Well,
Yeah, with all the
hello,
pop-
Dude,
we're
our
missing
storm shadow.
Nathan
Did the
Basil's
label.
debut
Written by
into
Scott
the film.
and
Okay.
David Stevie. Well done.
Yay,
What's up,
Glassy
Big
and
Ups?
Stevie.
But also,
Directed
this
by
is the
Scott.
first time we see the bees.
The
The
bees
bee's knees, yes.
walk
You
down
know?
on the
Nathan
scene.
Beazle.
That's
Yeah.
I think I was in there doing
not
the
at
mic
all how
thing
it's
here.
pronounced. But
Can we
actually
just
basil.
talk
Put
the
about
wrong
how you
in
came to be
before
the
the wrong.
bees? It's because wasn't your name misspelled on the contact sheet, and that's why we all
yeah,
called you Bees.
it's always misspelled.
Yeah.
Church and Zoe.
Interesting
My
here.
babies.
Later on, there's a reference to turtles eating dead bodies at the bottom. 'Cause-
Uh-huh.
And,
Picking them
and I,
on screen.
I think halfway through, I mentioned that to Scott. I was like, "That's really cool. The symbolism of the turtles." He's like, "What?"
This
Oh,
scene
oh,
came
that's
together
interesting.
so quick. It was like, we shot this whole thing in 5 minutes, probably
got the
3
gloves.
takes of it.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny. This is one of my favorite scenes. It really is. Well, watching it with an audience,
Yeah.
It's when people start to realize you're not like this is not your average
right?
horror
He's
movie.
Psycho
kind of a, he's
killer.
kind of a,
Murderer.
he's kind of a
He's a
weird
regular guy.
Well, in a way,
Well,
it works
not
because you
regular,
charm
Charlie,
us.
but he's
regular
he's in touch with
In
all
terms
his,
of his BMs.
idiosyncracies.
idiosyncrasies,
His
right?
body.
See,
He's
I
totally-
chose
rhythms.
to use a
You
large
did.
word. You chose to just mumble incoherently.
No, I said bowel movements.
normally what I
We
do.
were talking about regularity.
Britton, we haven't heard
a
from
different
Britton in a
kind.
little while. What? Say something
Did you
hilarious.
fall asleep?
I know
Did
I'm
you pull a
enthralled-
hammy?
I'm enthralled by how
It's a
your
wall.
bowel movements affected your acting. I don't.
It's really all
I have to
bowels.
go right now.
He's in his anal stage. It's
Oh my
Freudian.
God, are we really saying anal
isn't
stage?
Well,
for
dude,
real.
why would I have a
On our-
deck of cards? Damn it!
Love it.
I want people to hear that line.
I had a one-handed shuffle there. They never used that cut of.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe
I
my
I was
line
so
there.
proud of it.
Wow.
I believe
Yeah.
my line there was "Holy fucking sweet."
I love how serious.
Everybody's creeped out by that shot. Everybody tells me I'm a creepy guy, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just a guy. And
I
then I
wanna
see that shot, and I'm like, I'm totally fucking creepy.
The
No,
candles.
but I don't. I want to know when that original shot was like, whether you were listening to something, because you do have an oddly creepy
Oh God, I
vibe.
hate that.
And
have
with
you
the
been
three
troubled
candles
since
behind
youth,
your
or
head, it's
since-
No, it's so
very
demonic,
like Bram
but
Stoker's
I don't
Dracula
like that.
suddenly. And
You
It's
wouldn't
the
know it to
subject.
watch
Be a
this either, but there was
normal
like so many lights and reflectors and all this like gear in that room just to get this perfect Barbara Walters shot here.
Yeah,
I think you could have made him cry if you tried a little harder.
don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it.
Try to make Basil
I'm
cry
not gonna.
during
I'm
the
not gonna
Don't do it.
abuse my
commentary.
power. No.
Don't. Do
You're
it.
not gonna abuse your journalistic influence. This shot would look really dark on
That's
my,
the inside
my
of
TV.
a Prius, I believe. isn't
That's
it?
right. Whose Prius was that?
I believe
Does
it was a
anybody
rental
know?
Prius.
Really?
It was a rental, but I think it was because Leslie Vernon was really kind of cool
He was
with the
very
earth.
He was
echo
environmentally
sensitive.
conscious.
Definitely.
We shot this film over 2 years ago, and already he's on the whole echo vibe. I like that.
He was ahead of his time, dude.
Oh,
That's
totally,
true.
totally. Only now is the president getting behind the ball. Well,
Hey, you know.
come on.
You know. Hey, let's not get political. This
yeah.
is supposed
Let's
to be
not do
awesome
that.
and hilarious.
This was the first night, I believe, that I had taken a walk and done some acting in the same night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beforehand, you'd been mostly stationary while you were
The
acting.
walk, it got his blood moving. Which is,
You'd been seated or still.
Portland was
prone.
very
Portland.
Portland was
we
a
should
very
say we
supportive
shot
town,
most of this in and around Portland, in
Yes.
Beaverton.
and
Oregon.
the Portlandites, Portland.
That always gets a good
Canadians,
laugh, that bit where you push her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I loved that.
they
as
were
well.
very generous. Huh?
They were very generous.
Oh, Portland was awesome.
Portland was pretty cool, yeah.
It was a
was
really good
freezing.
town to do a film in and to kind of party in. Good restaurants, good bars.
Actually, yeah, it was.
Everyone was married by the age of 20 there.
Right, that
I
was
didn't
an
notice
interesting
that.
factoid.
It
that
was,
we,
wasn't it?
Yeah. I think our 20-year-old waitress at one of the bars we frequented was
She'd been married for she was having her 10-year
after we had
anniversary.
all been flirting with her shamelessly for hours.
I was impressed by you were actually getting the furthest.
Yeah, you know.
But no, but it was a cool town.
It
We
was
stayed
great.
in a big residence inn, like almost dorm style hotel.
yeah.
It
and
was fantastic.
Oh, that was just party central.
Actually, Ben and I stayed together.
Yeah.
It's true. You shacked up
shared a
together. You
room.
roomed together.
I was on the whole other side of the
we had to do
complex
some
from you
fuzzy
guys,
paperwork. So
Ben totally fucked me on this room.
I did not fuck you.
We agreed.
kept asking
we
that.
agreed that every week we would switch who gets the shitty Murphy bed in the living room and who got the bedroom. And after 1 week and it was my time, Ben informed me that I was shit out of luck, and that he would pay an extra $5 a day.
Bullshit, dude.
Bullshit.
I offered to pay like an extra $100
hate
a
when
month,
mom and
and
dad
you were
fight
like,
like
"Oh,
this.
You're aching ass $100 a month.
whatever."
I had a shitty Murphy bed. Like, you guys would have parties in the room, and I'd be trying to sleep in. Like, people were throwing M&Ms and shit at me.
Dude, you slept through everything.
Okay.
When he didn't sleep, he was on the video console on his
Playing
laptop.
Frodo.
Frodo.
It was Diablo 2.
Or,
Thank you
or
very much.
launching sock buds.
Yeah, but there was a hot tub outdoors, and we were there when it was freezing, and we literally did about 3 weeks straight of night shoots. So we always
Yes.
come back at like
Finish out the
Dawn.
night shoot with
We were a very odd
little lobby
commodity over there.
breakfast.
we got
Everybody-
a special dispensation to hook it in the
Yeah, because
hot tub late at night.
the first night they kicked everybody out, and then Scott went and called down the
Scott
might
pulled
of
his
his
magic.
will.
Yeah, he's like, I'm renting half your hotel. Hook it.
Can I just say, I love Nathan's cardio scene. I
Yeah.
just want to put that out there.
Was that fake sweat?
Oh yeah, they kept
yeah.
on spraying me up in between.
we noticed
Was
you
some
sweat.
of it, was
It's
some
not
of it
just
real
in those-
sweat or no?
Well, I was
I mean,
trying to beat the
didn't you
shit out of
work out
that
a
bag, but
little
after
bit of
like
it?
5 minutes, I was
Or
like,
you
no
were-
way, I'm done. This bag is too tough for me.
Quarterback is toast.
Twas the night before
This
Christmas.
scene is incredible. This
I love
scene
this
was
scene
so
shot.
Scene.
complex, and we knocked this fucker out in like 30 minutes.
And
the
we
whole
were
time-
losing the light
Look,
the
and
whole
look at
time.
all the stuff that we're choreographing
getting
here.
darker
We've got
and darker and
people
darker.
walking out. We've got the
We had-
jocks and,
yeah.
and the cheerleaders and everything hooking up. We've got the
The
stoners
stoner
walking
guys.
across. This was all
Totally.
done in like one take.
The girls,
and we knocked so much
the
of it
Freddy
out.
girls,
And the whole time you
jump-
were popping
jump-
Mike and Ike's like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
karate.
Mike and Ike's and Coca-Cola.
Which was a you
Mike
choice,
and Ike's and
which I-
Coca-Cola.
This
the
always-
boy band.
The boy band.
Hello.
The boy band.
We should note these three guys were like the temporary
editors.
preliminary editors of the movie while we were up there.
So
Yeah,
fantastic.
the boy band.
And Jérôme Presson, the DP, was sitting in the back there
That's
doing
right.
some really good
This
stuff
girl
here
did
with a zoom
the
lens.
reading, the first reading that we did of the screenplay.
That's right.
She read for the Survivor Girl.
Look close,
Right.
look close.
There's the
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock the And I know that Scott's kicking himself that he didn't get those girls doing it
perfect-
continuous.
That was not.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
But this, I like this right
Aren't
here
you?
with the tree. She
Aren't
comes
you like,
back.
God, this guy could have been so much sweeter.
Oh,
tree.
There it is.
Did she
That's
see
a
you?
beautiful shot.
Oh yeah.
That had
You
to
just
be timed
possessed
so
her
precisely,
soul.
and they.
It was so great.
I'd like to take credit for this scene.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was everybody pitched in. I mean, this was an incredible amount of work, and we just, because we were shooting in DV, we were able
This
to
part,
knock
yeah.
out a really complicated scene in like no time at all with 3 takes.
That's for sure.
I mean, it was
I was
insane.
actually-
And then we lost sunlight. That's why we
Right.
couldn't shoot
It
the
was
rest of
getting
the stuff.
darker and darker.
We lost sunlight.
Yeah.
I mean, we only had an hour of sunlight to do this whole thing.
I was actually in the trailer we all shared with wardrobe.
Yeah.
Really?
So yeah,
You.
I think I was in the van for this because I had the line about the
pie baking in the oven.
in the oven. Yeah. What you might not notice
Fantastic,
watching this movie,
which
you're
you just said.
probably wondering who Britton and I are. We're not actually in half of the movie. We're behind the camera. But what you might not notice is we were.
Wow.
Or maybe,
No, I'm saying we were on set
I thought
the
we
whole
covered
time.
introductions.
No, I'm just saying, like, we were actually there the whole time, which was
Yeah.
kind of cool. Then when we finally were on film later, it really added a lot.
Well,
of
and,
I would
for
say
the stuff where you weren't on film, or at least this is what I was,
was
talking to you
there
about,
for
Ben,
you
this-
guys.
Yeah, you're there for us, and,
Yeah.
and it allowed us to make choices that we would never have been privy to without you being there.
Yeah.
I mean, it allowed us to involve you guys in a really cool way.
Well, the other thing that was interesting to me about that whole, the fact that you guys were there, but Jaren, the DP, was actually filming.
A very active
became-
part
sub out
of you.
one at a
He
time.
became sort of a presence, a character in a sense. But it
Well, and that's what
was really
That's one of the
challenging
conceptual
and
things
awesome
about the
though,
film.
because I don't know if you felt this, but I felt like he was there. Like I would
Yeah.
make eye contact with him and
Yeah.
not feel like I was looking at a
And
at a blank
anybody
wall.
that wants
He was
can
listening to me.
watch it through and just look at the shots. Look at the shots, and you can tell which character is shooting what.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
completely different style of shooting for Todd, as there is a completely different style of shooting for
How would
Doug.
you
Do you know what?
describe
I
Todd's
forget the
filming?
Doug.
Straight on
What's
coverage.
that called?
Dutch.
Thank
Dutching,
you.
yeah. Doug was always Dutch.
Yeah, it
he
was
more
all
art
Dutch,
schooly.
art
Todd
school
was
type
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Todd was straight on. Get the footage. Get
Yeah.
the
like
get the
when he looks at his
information.
feet, he turns the camera at his feet.
There was so much dialogue for me to memorize in this scene. There's so many pauses. And this was one of the scenes that are infuriating for me to watch because there's so many fucking pauses, and I'm just like, gosh.
Was that when you were like, "What do I say next? What the?"
And then
fuck?"
Yeah,
bam!
no, that's what this whole scene is for me. Except
when
for,
you're watching
except for
it,
the
things
end.
like you're really
the end of
pensive.
the scene where it feels like there's just like something really cool and instinctual happening.
That's
Because it is.
right.
Everything else was just me trying to remember what the hell I say next.
But
And,
if
and the
you
whole
look
time I'm
interesting while
working
you're doing
with these, you know, I'm clipping this line.
You've
I've
got
you know,
props.
I've got props
You
that I'm
know,
working with.
Nathan
It's
is
complicated.
not. Is
scene.
not a
Tie
prop
the-
He can
actor.
barely
A
use
line
one
to the
hand
brick.
Nathan
write
acts
an
in
X
close up.
on
You
a
know, it's
contract.
like
I hear music. We should probably add there's no real score for the movie when it's in DV documentary, but when it switches and there are little vignettes where it switches to Omniscient 35 film, then
Right.
it's almost entirely scored.
it was raining
Like
a little
Gordon
bit.
It was
That's
raining.
why.
That's so
That's why the
random.
tongue went out. But it's kind of awesome.
It's kind of not.
But
That's-
well,
I
no,
own that
like
shirt.
it.
Nobody's
I
gonna
brought
see
that
that
to
it's
the
raining.
production.
That might be the first
That
time you
is
see
my
Britain.
shirt.
Yeah, I had a
That's
couple
the,
of
That's
shirts.
the first time we
Huggy.
hug in the
This is like-
movie.
Are they in love or?
That's
Are they
Bobby
scared?
E.
Where did
driving up in the car, or at least
And
it's
for some
implied.
reason, I ask,
Where
There
did
he
that
is.
van come from? Where did we get that van?
oh, the Scooby Doo van.
Yeah.
The
you
mystery
guys just
machine.
drove.
It
to-
has
No,
Maryland
not,
plates
not
on
in the
it.
movie.
Where did
but
it
where did the
actually
production
come
get it?
from?
Like
Oh,
they
geez.
borrowed it from
Rent-a-wreck?
somebody, didn't they?
I don't know.
This.
Look at that gorgeous Portland
Yeah.
countryside.
Oh yeah.
Portland's beautiful.
It's really, really.
Oh, I
pretty.
love
This
these
was what
scenes.
October,
Yeah, me
late
too.
October, early November.
Bridget
we
and
shot
Scott
it
were
primarily
so
November.
awesome.
Yeah,
in these scenes.
November.
And in the middle of the night, it was freezing. There's a
There's
full-on
Mr.
shot of
Todd
Todd.
West.
I stole that vest and that shirt and that hat.
There's a little Doug in the bag, barely.
Nice.
All of them are in my closet.
We had all these like wardrobe changes that no one will ever know about. That's interesting.
Oh,
And
I
here
love
I
how
think-
this timed out.
Oh, this works well. Hey,
Hey,
She's
Bridget.
there's Bridget.
hey, Bridge.
We're about to get Scott
Pretty girl.
Wilson. There's the best microphone ever invented in the universe.
It's true.
If it's anywhere in the room, we can hear everybody.
Bridget was
I
so
love
great.
that.
I'm totally
She was good.
Are
yeah.
you hot for her?
I'm
A
totally
little bit.
falling
This
in
was
love
a
with
cool
her again
house.
watching
Yeah.
her.
And the
Got it
production
done.
guys
She was
really
so
hooked
great.
this
She
house
was
up.
great.
Hot for Bridget.
What did you say?
I just said if like a
No.
week before that the house was totally empty, and when we had those interior
By the way,
shots,
that bulge
they
is
really-
the mic pack. It suddenly
Oh, that's
it
not
looks
for
so
a cigarette?
awkward to me. I totally never noticed that before.
You don't have
Not
spina
the tumor.
bifida.
we were digging this.
Oh my God, we were running
This
out
was
of
a
time
great scene, I
hardcore
thought.
on
Oh
this
yeah,
scene.
oh yeah.
We
It
only
was
had
getting
a
dark
half
and
hour
dark,
of
yeah.
sunlight, and there was a big. This was a big ravine, and the sun went down over the precipice
That's
of the
right.
ravine.
That's right. And suddenly
so
it was
we,
like
we lost all light,
Twilight.
and we had to get
That's
this
where
whole thing knocked
DV
out.
is useful too.
Oh
so.
yeah, we were able to get
I
so
remember
much work
the
done in so
first
little
time
time
reading this scene, I really thinking that this is a cool
Scott
movie.
Wilson.
Like it's
the
a cool
brilliant
take.
Scott Wilson.
Oh yeah.
But that's such a cool shot too when they
Yeah.
pull it off. Like
yeah,
So
the whole
cool.
idea that
And he
he's
looks
in
pale,
a
and he
Coffin.
was so
Dead.
ready to play ball. I mean,
And
he showed
Scott,
up on day
Scott
one.
was the
He jumped
Scott
right in.
He
came
just
up with
totally
the fact
jumped
that
right
he
in.
was dressed in a kind of like old
Funeral
school,
suit.
Right,
you know,
right.
that was all him.
like he's a 1950s principal.
Right.
An effective.
He really just jumped
administrator.
right in. He was there.
Did
really
they
cool guy.
they cut out your counting the beats?
Oh yeah, counting the beats of his
I
heart.
They
missed
cut out
that.
a lot from this scene.
I missed
But
that.
it's cool. It flows really good.
Does
It does
have a
flow.
bunch of
Could
throwaway
be
lines.
But
7
just,
hours
just
long.
to elaborate, there was a moment that Nathan invented where he was counting the beats of
Yeah,
Scott's
he put
heart.
his
and
ear
there,
to
and there
his
were
chest.
very few beats.
Right, because we talked earlier about these psycho killers being able to slow down their
Right.
Like
their
yoga
pulse
guys
and
or
their
whatever, yeah.
exactly. So
Here's a little get to know Eugene and Jamie.
Getting to know you.
And this is you're acting like a teenager in this scene. I notice you're sort of
Well,
You're
these
like
are
a
the,
goofball who
These
brought
are the
his
closest
girlfriend
things to
home.
my parents that I have.
Right,
So
you
I,
become total
And Taylor acts like,
adolescent.
it's right before prom and it's your first time meeting with Taylor.
I'm like, no, I'm.
where's your
What do I
corsage
say
in
when
this
he? What
scene?
is? What
No,
do I
but
say when he
thank you.
offers me a beer? I say I'm good or something
Yeah.
really random and weird.
He said,
Yeah.
no, sorry, it's all good. What? No, I don't need no
I
G&B.
don't know. I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at improvising.
Me neither.
You say that, but we came up with some good stuff.
That's true, but it was all I just follow your lead.
Brent and I
You're a good
improvised all
dancer.
kinds of
You're my
stuff
ginger.
on all these scenes, but
Stop
unfortunately
it.
we
You're
weren't
my
mic'd at
friend.
all. I don't
4%
think.
made
I'll
it
be your
in.
friend.
Half the time we weren't mic'd,
be your
and the other
friend
half the
any
mics
day.
were off.
How awesome is Scott Wilson, though?
Scott Wilson
Can
I
is
just
so
say-
awesome. All right, let's talk about this sequence.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was kind of re-edited.
Oh,
too.
Should
this
we
was-
wait till it's over before we talk about
No,
it?
they've
or should
seen
we-
it.
No, we
They've
should
seen
probably
it.
talk
All right,
about it now.
here's what we're talking about here. Okay, crouched under the counter at Scott Wilson's knees
is
is
our prop
Zach.
man who
he
is switching out the carrots that he's
right,
chopping.
and he's crouched underneath Scott,
Yeah.
and Scott is cutting the carrots
Right.
very slowly. And then we move the camera, and he has to quickly and silently, mind you,
Right.
Ah, the old quick
switch,
change.
switch
old
the
onesie
cutting
twosie.
board to
That's
the
before they realized they
pureed
could have
carrots.
just edited it.
But they couldn't
You
because
know-
that's not what we were doing.
Yeah,
that's-
we weren't
that's-
cutting
What we were
anything.
doing
But
was a
ultimately they
one-take
did
shot.
cut.
There,
Yeah.
that is Zach
But-
was holding that under the counter.
And now at this point, is Zach back down by...
Yes,
yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he's down on the
He's
floor
actually
again.
giving
Had to-
Scott Wilson a pedicure as we speak.
Oh, the meat.
delicious
I didn't know that that was
Christ
what you were
Market
going to
sausage.
say. I'm glad you went
I ate
pedicure
so
and not
much
something
I did that
else.
for you.
Thank
that
you.
night.
Lockhart,
Appreciate
Texas.
that.
If you notice, Scott Wilson has the Kreitz's hat on,
Of
which
course.
I actually have a hat.
I think Nathan, you ate more sausage than I've seen any man eat
We
that
were-
night.
Hey,
you
Scott,
we were
Scott
sponsored
sent me
by
down-
this
I
I
loved it.
place.
pride
it's
myself
good.
on
It's
my
that
ability to
good.
down the sausage.
Scott sent me
I
down
can
to
handle
Craig's
some
Market.
sausage.
I wasn't able to eat dinner that night because I ate so much
I-
goddamn sausage.
I
that
believe
day.
you. I believe
Scott
you.
sent me to Kreitz Market as an ambassador of goodwill and a sausage liaison.
Oh, very nice.
And,
Do you get a sash?
Well, I did get a T-shirt,
He brought his own sash.
and yes,
Yes.
I did. I carry a sash at all times.
Wait.
What do you think about this one? Nice.
Wow.
Mayor.
Yeah.
That is
That
very
is-
fancy.
That is
Yeah.
really.
You
I'm gonna
did
put
you
some
get the key
sequins
to
on
the
it.
city with that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We should mention we premiered this at South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas.
45 minutes from Lockhart,
Nice.
Texas.
Near Lockhart, where there's this place, Kreitz's Market, where they don't have plates or silverware. They just give you, like, meat on wax paper and, like, a loaf of Wonder Bread.
Which
And
is
it's
all anyone
amazing.
really needs.
And they disallow sauce. They
That's-
will not let you use sauce.
That's Texas,
But if
barbecue,
you're caught
baby.
smuggling sauce in,
Well, that's the
you're
sign
going to
of.
face retribution.
But Scott
is
Wilson came
Texas
to that
barbecue.
festival as well as the Gen Art Festival in New York and was
Yeah.
really
Just burped.
cool
I
and really
hope no
was
one heard that
really
on the
supporting the
audio.
film.
This scene came together really good too.
Yeah.
Scott was
scene
so
did.
great, and Bridget and their whole thing that they'd come up with.
Yeah, they're kind of an unlikely couple, but they make it work.
Yeah,
huh?
they totally do.
And I guess what the secret is that she's sort of his survivor.
She was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the super omnidirectional mic,
the best
there it
microphone.
is.
There it is.
Oh, we heard
See,
everything.
Yes.
because it was in the flowers.
It was
Right.
in the
and I
flowers.
love that.
We hid
it was
in
just
the
little
flowers.
things like
It's
that.
alien
you know,
technology,
that
people.
were thinking of.
You know,
Right.
it's the attention to detail.
That was probably the
There's
fact
a lot
that
of
I was on
attention to
set the whole
detail.
day
I
and
like
had
that.
absolutely nothing to say or do. And
There
was
was
behind the
no-
camera,
there
so I was
was-
like, what about
There
my
was
mic?
-3 pace
Yeah.
space that day.
It was
wasn't
pace-
even 0.
It was to
like
a negative
at
degree.
the-
Yeah. I
You were
owed
asked
them.
to leave
There's my
set.
hand in the corner with the mic. Thanks.
Yeah.
The
mic?
That was me.
Is this
It's
what
a hand.
introduce-
Because how else would
Whose
we
hand is
hear
that?
what they're saying?
Do you guys hate?
Is this the Ahab bit or what?
No.
Do we hate what? I want to hate something.
I like to hate.
I'm a hater.
I'm very pro hate. I love hate.
Do you get sick of watching my face on there?
Oh, are you kidding? You're
Because
so
my face
damn
is on there so
attractive,
much,
dude.
and you guys were probably thinking that there would be a lot more of your faces on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I got over the jealousy a couple years ago, but
He's in therapy.
He's
He's
been
working
seeing
through
somebody.
it.
actually, Angela's
Because I
been
get
helping me.
totally
She has a
sick of
great
seeing
couch.
my face up there.
You're
You know?
very easy on the eyes. Very.
Okay, here
Oh,
we
the
go with
library
this.
scene.
This.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have to say the bingo hall.
Oh my God.
The bingo hall.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay,
talk
so
about
what we're
that.
looking
There's
at
a
right
live
now.
bingo match going on in there.
Okay, so what
Wait,
you
is
have to
that the
imagine
actual
is
library? No,
that
that's
second
the
floor
exterior.
room that we
Right.
run
That was
up that
the
outside
exterior.
staircase to.
Right.
On the other side of that door, just imagine that everything is cool and we're so, in espionage mode. And we open up that door and you're looking out over a darkened room of
It's a
probably
banquet.
200 people
Right.
having a banquet, and they're in the middle of bingo.
Right.
And they're having to shut down bingo.
And we're interrupting him.
So
They,
that-
not only
so
they
that
have
we
to
can
be
do this
quiet, they can't talk, they can't move.
And we're
pissed.
sitting in there.
Yeah.
We're sitting inside until somebody tells us on the walkie-talkie that the scenes has cut and we can
Right.
leave. The whole time, and we must have been in there 10 minutes. The
And
whole
they're
time
acting
we're
out,
feeling
too.
these people hating.
They're screaming it.
Dude,
Some
they're
of
so
them, they're
And
like
from
screaming
experience
at
working
us.
as like
They just
a
wanted to
PA
win
on
fucking
independent
bingo.
film.
And they tried to do this really. I mean, I love the guys that tried to do it, but they tried to do some lame like prize giveaway thing, like hey,
If you're
know,
quiet,
and
we play
it
the
was
science
nobody
game.
was
You get a
interested.
quarter.
Nobody.
Yeah, like they were kindergartners
They were
or
like-
something like that. And they're like,
They were like, we don't
look,
want
bub,
this.
here
Actually,
we booked this 3 years
is-
ago. We're ready to
actually,
fucking
we
play
had a
bingo.
really
This is
hot
Jaren
prop
running
manager,
like Britain.
and she came in at one point, and I think that was all most of them needed was just to see Betsy, just to
Dude,
get a little
the fact that you picked the locker
little
is
look
kind of
at
James
Betsy
Bond.
in her
you know?
tight jeans.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
so
Jet-
James
yeah,
Bond.
Betsy
So
was
that's
our
where the
prop
people
manager.
are on the other side
Yeah,
of that door.
they're
Just-
right. They're
Okay.
just sitting there.
All right, so here's
Okay.
the-
And this whole scene, yeah.
This was the last day of shooting,
That's
think,
right.
I think
very
Doug,
last day of
Doug was
shooting.
in the van this
and
whole
we
time.
were all
Doug was.
so burned out.
This was the last day of shooting in the
Cheers to
library.
the van.
Cheers to the van.
Nice.
I stayed in the van, I believe, because we needed the exterior shot of Robert Englund coming.
Exactly.
But there was another time at the diner where he stays in the van, so I think it comes out like I have a conscience, maybe.
I
That's
love
what thought.
I love how nimble Mr. Basil is in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to throw in
you
as
know,
much of
he's
my
very athletic
my
in this.
My-
Spider-Man. in
my
there.
character
This-
likens you to a monkey.
Toby Maguire.
That's true, a right.
couple
Toby
times.
Maguire got the role, but I've always wanted
But
to
you
play
were his
Spider-Man, so
muse.
that was my
can we
Spider-Man.
pause?
My
Is
take on
this-
Spider-Man.
When does Paradise Lost occur?
Oh right.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
We should maybe mention that
The
there
party.
there was a fair amount of improvisation in this movie.
Yeah, there was a good
Yeah,
amount
we
of
can
that.
mention that.
And some of it was kind of like you discuss it a minute beforehand, and like
Right,
this
right,
one,
right.
sort of.
Right, you're like.
Well, this one, I'd come to the library. We had a party the last week of shooting, and everybody was burned out, and everybody was just partying their ass off. And somebody said, "Paradise Lost found it," and I thought it was awesome. It's like we're gonna
That was
stick
at the
it
party
in.
where they were throwing sushi at Britain or whatever.
Yeah,
Sushi?
oh, it was
Was it
an
M&Ms?
insane. It was an insane party.
Really high class.
It was
it
very
was
class party.
raw
insane
fish
things
or
going
chocolate
on.
candy. I can't remember which.
Might have been
but-
broken glass.
And gummy bears, sandpaper of all grades.
The party where Hart disappeared into the bathroom for
Uh-oh.
20 minutes
Hart Turner
Yeah.
plays
and I heard
Shane.
thumping.
Shane
Clandestine
in the
role.
film.
Paradise
Yes.
Lost.
He was shaving.
Found it.
So anyway, somebody said that
that's-
at the party, and I was like, "We got to stick it in."
Found it, and
then
people
the
love it.
last
Yeah.
day of shooting was at the library. I was like, "Okay, Paradise Lost. We're at a library. I'll get a copy of it. We'll work it in somehow."
It's
I
so
had
awesome.
some nerd come up to me after one of the screens and say, "You know, all the other books are like chemistry books. That book wouldn't be there."
Oh
Wow,
wow.
I was
I
like-
love that
I was like,
somebody
"You're
paid that
a
attention
nerd."
to it.
He
to-
was
to the
really
work.
paying attention.
That's
and
awesome.
not
And that you
to
can
us.
tell
It was
from,
me.
that you
we
can
were
tell
clearly
from
not
this.
doing our
really-
job
I was
because
really
he was
falling.
looking at the books behind
The guy had
you.
extremely thick
So
glasses.
I guess that's a real indication that I.
That was off
I
by
think
over
you've
400
s-
points
Oh,
on
yeah,
the Dewey
here's-
Decimal
yeah.
Here's
System.
the exterior.
But
Yeah.
then so did you, because if he was
Your Dewey Decimals
watching
were off.
the
Right.
Paradise
This is you digging on
Lost is
Kate
next
Lang
to-
Johnson.
Dude, who doesn't dig on Kate
chemistry
Lang Johnson?
books,
But
you weren't pulling your weight.
I think she
either.
told me she
So
got that
don't just-
outfit as like
Look,
a
Let's
sort of-
dish
let's
it out.
not
I mean, you
get
gotta
into
salacious
it
treat
now.
for her
Let's,
then, boy.
we'll
No,
we'll
Angela,
talk about
this
it
is
in group
something-
therapy.
No,
Okay?
no.
No.
Are we all supposed to
seriously.
talk
You're
at the
always
same
about
time?
putting things off.
I-
Push
I'm
it off.
I'm just
Push
saying.
it off till
I'm
next
just
time.
saying.
Nope.
Let's
Zelda
talk about
Rubinstein,
it
You've been saying
everybody.
in
you've had your
group.
say.
Let's talk about it in group. Okay.
When
this
the
is not a
microphones are
safe
off.
space right now.
Hey,
I
guys.
don't feel.
Hey,
I'm
guys.
just saying.
You're
What?
really bringing me down with your negative
All right.
vibe.
I'm
You
just saying.
see?
You're
You
all
see?
about
You're
containing the
bringing
situation.
him down.
She always
Cheers.
contains
Do you
the
want to bring
situation.
him down?
Cheers.
Do you
You
want
know,
to
when
bring?
you use qualifiers like always and never,
do you
you
want
never
to
get
bring
anywhere.
him down? That's all I'm asking. All right.
Look at the height difference. This is so awesome.
Look at those legs.
Look at those
Just look
legs.
at
Wow.
those legs in
Half
that
the woman in
skirt.
Zelda
Do we
Rubinstein
have
has some
to look at
amazing
those
legs.
legs?
Just look at those
God,
legs.
I mean, as a short girl,
Zelda's
I-
hips go to her knees.
had-
At the-
Wow. Zelda Rubinstein was a champ, too. I mean, she came out, you might
Zelda
recognize
was
her
awesome.
from Poltergeist.
She was
and
so awesome.
It's an unfortunate shot of Kate
Scott's
there. I think
crying
the
right
lighting
now.
is not good.
Scott's in pain.
I love it.
Mark Daniel Curtis.
This was our last day of shooting. Did
This
anyone
was.
mention that?
I did.
Awesome.
This was, I had
Yes.
nothing to do this day, so I ate
cut
everything
off.
at craft services. It was awesome.
Yeah, you were always hitting the
That's true.
donut drawer.
No,
weren't
not
you?
always. Just
No,
the
no,
last
just
day. I
the
hooked
last
it. I had
day.
2 of
Yeah,
everything.
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not calling you a fatty.
I was, well, all right.
You can call me a fatty.
You can't
You're
call
my
me a
fatty.
fatty.
You got to
because
man
then
lunge
I'll-
him before you could call him anything.
Can we talk about the man lunge?
Sure.
We
That
need
hasn't
to-
occurred
Oh,
yet.
no,
Comes
no.
up later, but
Oh, we should preface
Okay.
it though.
All right. Just put a bee in your bonnet, everybody.
This
that
is a
we're
memo.
gonna talk about
Stick it
the
note.
man lunge. All right.
A post-it note.
I'm gonna put
on
a
the man
feather in my
lunge.
cap and
Password
call
is
it
man
macaroni.
lunge. All right. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Basically,
Everybody's on the edge of
one
their
time I
seat.
tried to brace a door, and Britton came and braced me with his arm around my man boobs.
It was. It was actually.
And
It was protective and loving, and I'd do it again if we were all in danger.
like he wasn't trying to keep the door closed to keep the killer out. He was trying to keep me safe.
I was trying to comfort you.
He was trying to be
You
a,
were about to get
big-
mauled by a vicious killer.
And then-
flesh
and
I
then-
didn't want your last moment of life to be one of scaredness.
the final
and it was
moment
good.
of that man lunge was that I was on the other side of Britain, so I was like a fly on like a rock. Like
What are
Britain,
you trying to
Man
say?
rock?
It's
Britain
actually
was
it's,
man lunging Ben, and I just sort of clung to him totally unnecessarily. Like
You were like
I
one of
was,
those little birds
Wow.
on
I
a
was not-
rhinoceros.
what it really is.
Was
is
I
a,
comforting
it's a
you?
wondrous and it's a wondrous dichotomy of beauty and pain.
It's an epic voyage
That was
through
man
man love.
solace.
Well.
Right now he has his
Well,
hand
I
on my
feel
knee,
like
which
we
is a
should
little
all take
awkward.
hands at this moment because I think we've had a breakthrough.
Let's don't. He
Don't
just pulled his
touch me.
hand away in
Anybody have a
defiance.
Kleenex? I'm tearing.
Do you?
Kumbaya,
This was,
my
by the way,
love.
she's not like a young lady. I mean, she's very, whatever. She was cool, but
And
we.
stating the
My
obvious.
point is, she worked
Mr.
through the
Ben
night.
Gates.
I mean, the
Yeah.
sun was coming up at the end
No,
of this.
she was a trooper. In
She
this
was definitely a
scene.
trooper in this. As a,
Oh wow, you're really still singing. I was wondering whether you were gonna keep.
that's the first time we see the boy
That's
This
the
is
first time
the
we
Portland
see.
Public
and
Library.
Bobby E. I should mention.
I feel so lame about this.
Why?
I just
it's very
I just
close
feel
that he
lame.
doesn't shoot her there. I've
I
always
wasn't
noticed.
ready.
He's a crack shot.
This was the first
He's a
time.
crack shot.
disagree.
He in fact
What do you
managed
mean
to
you weren't
miss
ready?
everything.
No, he got him.
Oh,
He gets him. in
That
the
was
shoulder.
edited together very well.
that was cool. I remember
Andrew
that.
did a great job on that.
This was one of the early things we shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was right next to the freezing bridge.
that's right.
Do you remember how
and
excited?
Nathan's
Look how
barefoot.
windy it is.
in
Do you remember
Yeah, I'm
how
totally
excited
barefoot.
Scott got about how excited that Angela got?
Yeah.
When she said, "What's
Well,
an
we all
Ahab?"
loved that.
And Scott,
That
was-
line, that
Scott
line was
lost
where
his
we
fucking
felt like,
mind
oh,
about that.
What's an Ahab? I know.
Oh, Tag just
Yeah.
nailed
I
it.
know, man.
There were a few times where we all were congratulating ourselves. We were like writing our Oscar accepted
Yeah,
speeches
that was
before,
a,
after the
that
first
was a
table read.
self-congratulatory
Yeah.
moment.
I remember
for
the
me.
time when you started crying when you're saying it's so happy or whatever. I'm so happy. It's like Christmas. Scott
Yeah.
was like, and instead of being happy, he was sad. And
Right.
it was mind blowing.
And it's
And we were
funny.
all like,
it's funny too
"You're supposed to be
because
happy, but you're
because
sad."
That's my Tom Cruise. That's
Oh,
my
I
ode to
love
That was
Tom
that.
Cruise.
amazing.
I love that.
Thank you.
And even your boxer briefs show a little bit.
Oh, you're
They
Tom
were not
Cruise?
boxers. I wear butt huggers.
Dude, Tom Cruise only wears steady ways. Didn't you see
Did
Top
you-
Gun?
Dude.
Come on.
It's my
I gotta
Bible.
hold my
No.
junk in.
It's also
I
risky
didn't want to
business.
ruin the illusion.
You're right,
Maybe
absolutely.
you
A
kind
combo
of
of
went
risky
to
business.
I
space.
think the
I'm not
briefs
sure.
can
To
look
prove
sexy.
that Tom
They
Cruise
can,
always
but,
has
you know,
steady whities.
Really, they can't. Is the point.
Like I was
Do I have
mentioning
to
earlier, the
just pay for
production
my
design in
whole
that. They put that dollhouse was kind of cool.
wardrobe.
I love this scene particularly because
This
This was
Ahab?
so
because
instinctual, and you just
you
you
really
did, you were
yeah
awesome.
because Nathan really was.
You totally rocked
You were
it.
kind of
What was that
trying to
bracelet
figure
thing
out
you had
what
there?
was going on.
Well, it doesn't matter if you
And-
like. It doesn't matter if you're like
And then you
engaged, but
got
it's like
it,
it's
and
like
you were
having
like,
somebody else
okay.
engage with you. That just feels like, oh my god, that wasn't in the script. That was nothing that could have happened
Right.
on its own. Like that had to be just like what was happening right here. And
Right.
That was.
Oh, yeah.
That just felt good.
This was the other scene. Yeah, I stayed in the van.
This is my favorite
This is a
shot
great-
in the film.
with the fan.
right here with
Great
the
shot.
ass.
My cami butt.
Oh, that is a
my cami
fantastic
butt.
That is my
shot.
favorite shot.
Yeah,
in the
but
whole
my
movie.
butt looks a little,
Square.
it doesn't look that good.
I wish these people could have seen a shot of you in your
Little Ange,
swimsuit.
it
in
looks
the-
pretty
in the little,
good.
In the
Thanks,
little
guys,
jacuzzi.
thanks.
We
I was
had
just-
the
I
jacuzzi.
was
The
feeling a
Residence
little
Inn.
You're a
self-conscious
delight,
that day.
Angela.
Angela, you're just the sweetest.
I'll
lady.
have you get out and
Oh,
turn
stop.
the heater
Oh,
on
stop.
any day.
I really,
That's
I
right,
wasn't
we were-
trying to invite this kind of.
We had the
you know,
hot tub, and there was this thing that was like
Ange
20
parade.
feet away. We had to push the button to
You
turn
had to
on the
get out of
bubbles
the
every 10
jacuzzi,
minutes.
walk over to it,
And I was never getting out myself.
turn it on, and
And
the lights
Ange
if you
did it.
wanted them,
She did
and
it.
then get back in the jacuzzi. And Tag was always willing
occasionally
to get out
got- we
and
occasionally got
be our,
Kate to do
be
it,
our
too.
eye candy.
Tag being tiny
Occasionally,
Angela
you
Goat.
got
Tiny
the
Angela Goat.
supermodel to do it.
Right, who's also
but
a model.
sometimes you'd settle for me.
No, you were,
You were
our
all we
supermodel,
wanted.
baby.
You were all we wanted.
Oh.
When
I
you
like this
came
shot
back
right
from
here
the
with the
Thanksgiving
fan.
break
That's kinda
engaged,
awesome.
you broke men's hearts.
That fan is
Aw.
symbolic of
I
the
love it.
caustic
That's
nature of his do or die battle against Leslie Vernon.
think
I
it was just a
actually,
fan.
I
Oh, it was a
loved,
fan.
I loved shooting this scene because it was one of my only sort of scenes with Todd. Really, right,
Really?
Brett?
No, you
I
had
mean,
the
it was
library.
like, well, yeah, but that was we were all focused on
Mm.
Leslie at that point. But this, we sort of got to interact,
And Bitchy Taylor just commands orders at
I
me.
love it. And you call me what, an Uber bitch?
An Uber.
That was
That's
earlier.
later.
Oh, that's-
Don't be an Uber bitch.
Kate is here. She's got like I stayed up all night makeup.
Look at
sort of.
that coffee must not be very hot.
Yeah.
She's totally holding the coffee.
She's like pouring it down her
Is she having
blouse.
an engagement right now?
Would you
She's
like
like-
some lukewarm coffee? In fact, it's
What was it?
lukewarm
She's pouring
Senka.
it down her blouse.
I don't know. I was trying to think of an image for it not
He gives
being
this little
hot.
look here. That always
I
gets a
love
big
that
cheer.
look. I love
Love
that
it.
look.
And the
He was
black
so
glove.
great.
Bobby,
he
you
was,
really
He
did
was
the
such a
subtlety
class
there.
act.
Yeah.
He came.
he was all about the black glove too. There were several shots with the
He had a
black
money costume
glove.
for sure.
No, this.
Oh, here was
this
You were
the
telling me
audition
this
scene.
was the first time when Bobby E was standing there. and
Yeah,
you were-
Bobby E was sitting here watching this scene while we were filming it. This was the first scene that he'd seen with Leslie, and I kind of felt like he was watching it because he wanted to make sure that
See
he
what he
hadn't
got
gotten
into?
his, yeah, you know, he hadn't committed to
That
a
make you
pile of
nervous?
crap.
Right.
No, it didn't. I actually, I felt really good about this scene. We
He
Well,
held
this-
you
it's a
for
great
like 20
scene.
minutes.
Let's talk
afterwards.
about this scene.
Angela and I had auditioned with this scene, and,
And when you
Right.
slam her against the car, it's
Right.
like
well, she was just so willing to play ball with anything.
But also,
so.
one of my favorite things about this scene,
Asphyxiation.
and this is something to, commend Scotty for as well, as, trusting us enough.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't rehearse this scene
Oh no!
That
before
day,
we
you mean?
shot
We
it.
just
yeah,
did it.
we
Because
didn't.
you'd already done the.
We just, Nathan and I both agreed, like, let's just do it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're not going to rehearse. We're not going to block it. We're not
It
going
was
to.
good.
And
So there was Jaron in the van
Right.
setting up the shot from inside,
Or-
which is great.
that's
I mean,
the
this
Doug shot.
composition, this
So that's-
composition is awesome. It's so
Yeah.
menacing,
Yeah. I
and it's
stayed
so
in the
great.
van for
That's
that.
all Jaron, and then
and it's technically Doug's camera.
yeah,
Right.
Right, so
Yeah.
Jaron was either subbing out Doug or Todd,
Or
and the other
Todd.
one of us would do the action.
yeah.
And actually, a lot of times, especially in the house stuff, we would kind of do it ourselves first, and then he would base some of the camera movements on kind of a
Right.
performance.
Oh,
What
I
was-
should have done a pore cleanser.
well, what
My
was
pores
awesome
are
for
should've
me,
done the
what was awesome for
Patrick
me about
Bateman
this
face
side
mask.
is about this scene
rhinoplasty?
is that.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Did you just say
Yeah.
rhinoplasty?
What was interesting was
In
the
a
rhinoplasty.
DVD
It was just
audio commentary?
buckets and
That
buckets.
means
that-
nose job.
I think you're trailblazing here,
Yeah.
man. I think you're really.
Right?
I don't.
I like your earlobe implants, by the way. They're extremely sexy.
You don't think the word rhinoplasty has ever been used in a DVD commentary
I challenge anyone listening right now or anyone sitting here with me to find
Okay.
an
I-
audio
I know.
commentary with rhinoplasty.
I do know it. Okay?
Roxanne.
Britain.
It was
Showgirl.
Don Ruse's Bounce, which was Jennifer Grey's first movie after
Grey.
Dirty
Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing.
Can I just say? Can I just say?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
Hold
yes,
that
yes.
note. But this
You're playing the
just
main
happened
movie
in this
game.
scene.
This scene.
Oh,
yeah.
the stuff that came earlier, where I go into the corner there, and there's that period where I have this blank look in my eyes. It's because the sound pack, the mic pack that I was using when I bounced up against the counter, it knocked the pack off. So I'm
It
like trying to
electrocuted
hold
you
on to
slightly?
it and like hook it into my back without looking like a total
Really?
douchebag and getting picked
And
up
yet,
on film.
that
for
gave you
doing
the
it.
I didn't
perfect
know that.
cold stare.
Yeah, it gave me a real
amazing.
dead eye
Wow.
stare. So
I like that. If you watch that
I'm
scene,
glad to
in,
know that my
Yeah.
my
if you watch that again, you
Your-
got to
your
wonder about.
clumsiness resulted in a
him knowing.
brilliant performance.
I'm sorry. So now go
Every
on. please.
time I've been good on camera, it's been an accident.
Yeah, that's
There's
pretty
been
much
some
my modus operandi.
mic pack sliding down my thigh.
No, I
Oh,
was
well,
just
look at this
I was just
beautiful
alleging
man.
the
That's a
movie
Doug.
Bounce
That's a
had
Doug
the
shot.
word
See, it's
rhinoplasty
Dutch
in
to
it.
the side.
Okay,
As they say,
Jennifer
tilted.
Grey.
Tilted
I
Doug
believe
shot.
It was
you.
her
Dirty
first.
Dancing?
It was her first movie post rhinoplasty.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
think you're
kind of where
probably
she
onto
lost it for me.
something
I
there.
like Rhino Originales.
Can I just say that
Okay.
Tiny Angela
There's
Gothels
a
was
Maryland-
driving
I
this,
am
and she
driving
does
this.
not drive a
Right.
stick.
I don't drive a stick.
And
Thank
you and you
So
can't
she's
open.
had-
driving a VW bus.
Someone was crouched under my seat. I was,
Zach was.
The door
doing the
doesn't open from
pedals.
the inside,
and they
no,
were.
the driver's door does not open
Right.
from the inside.
much like my car now.
So Zach actually got run over, and then he reached up and opened from the.
I don't even want to think about this next line.
That's a Dutch Doug shot.
I'm gonna. Should I
Well,
throw
do
my
it,
cards
please.
on the table?
Please do it. Do it.
Let's see it.
Do it in iambic pentameter.
Iambic.
Let's see it through. Yeah. Okay. Great. Fantastic. So,
Yes, we're
Love
staying.
that look.
and a look back to the
I said
camera
it. And then
afterwards.
Todd's like,
What do you
"We're
want
to be in
from
mortal
me?"
danger." All right.
So Scott, I love you, but you trusted me to write my own line there, and I decided to make it.
I only
This- a
improvise
rhyming
an
line.
iambic
We should
pentameter.
mention this house here.
Yes, the house.
Yes.
Also
The-
known
the-
as Moldville.
But
Moldville,
but
USA,
The
yes.
rumor on the set for at least a solid week was that some family lived here,
And that stain?
the pipes bursted, and that they just evacuated, and that all the shit in there was actually
Was
their stuff from
real-
1963 or whatever.
Right.
And everyone believed it. I don't know about you guys. I totally bought it.
I bought
and,
it.
And then Travis, the set designer, said, "No, we put all that shit in there."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god."
I totally bought
But
it.
what they didn't put
I'm-
in there was the toxic mold. I mean, enough to make Ed McMahon blush. We
By
wore
the way, I
the.
own that sweater
we
now.
wore the masks.
Happy to
SARS
say
mask.
I've
We wore
added
our
that to my
SARS dust
wardrobe.
masks. Mine said
I enjoyed
Maverick.
that
What'd yours say?
sweater.
Now
on
we
you.
Goose?
I don't know.
You were Jester.
I was joking.
we need to. I need to.
And then instead of smelling
point out
mold,
a
you
water
smelled-
stain
smelled
on the
Sharpie.
wall that looks like the
Well,
silhouette
it was
of a
better
woman.
than
And I was
suffocating.
trying to work that into my performance.
what about the
and I
skull
don't know
in the
whether.
window?
Okay,
Oh,
wait,
right
wait,
here,
wait.
to
it's
the
coming.
right.
Wait, Dougie, you got
Wait.
to.
Silence,
it?
please.
I got.
I don't think we're
going to
get it in the
out.
shot.
Silence, please.
No, maybe it's coming up.
You see
A
it
little
later,
bit
but
later.
there's
All
a
right,
water
sorry.
stain.
Coitus interruptus. Okay,
Whoa.
here we go.
There's a little bit of the zontals. So
Oh,
the first
There's
time we get our
the
zontals.
hoary stripe.
My red
don't see
horizontal stripe
The
shirt.
JFK Life magazine. Do you remember that one?
Right?
Yeah.
That was in the.
That was the
room
little ante-room where the first big scene
The
went down.
antechamber. It was his staging area.
Here it
Okay,
is,
ready?
right behind him.
All right. Here we look at that
the water stain? Oh,
yeah, it
stain.
does look
It's
like
it's
Well, it
the
doesn't look like a woman,
profile.
It's a dude with some
there.
junk.
Looks like he's totally got junk.
Oh
And
my
Yeah, but he's got
God.
like
down
he's
at
got
you
like
in a very
Roman or Greek
judgmental
statue
position.
junk.
he
I'd say
does.
it's
He
a-
has
I'd
Greco-Roman
say it's a
Yeah,
statues.
he's got a
That-
nubbin.
You know what? I'm gonna need another
Merkin.
year in therapy to
You
get
know what
over
Merkin
that.
is? Have you ever heard of
Because
it?
that
It's a pubic-
It's
I
a pubic wig. Isn't
Yeah.
that the
That
weirdest?
timed out good.
just
Why would you ever
totally-
need a Merkin?
Huh?
The
That
same
timed
reason
Who
you
was
need a
flicking
cod
that
sack.
switch?
I don't remember.
A what?
Somebody was on
Someone
Concept.
was.
What's
Somebody
that do?
pulled it.
Once
It's a
again,
big
it takes
bulge
a
in your
village
pants
to
when
make
you're
a
wearing
movie.
tight-
Oh, is that a
Cod sack.
I thought it was
Or
something-
cod piece.
Scott was
Cod
giving me
piece,
like
there you go.
things to improvise for like filling time here, and I was like,
How about some?
okay,
What
you want me
kinds
to,
of things
you want me to
was
check
he-
to see if there are batteries in there?
But
Okay,
if there
I'll-
are batteries, they're 38 years old.
Right, it's not.
I
Gonna
think it's
really make a
hilarious that
difference.
these kids would
And
know
all those-
immediately where to go. For
all
these.
those jars, those creepy
Oh, here we go.
jars.
Here's our-
Dude, the fake weed smelled so bad.
It
Here's
did,
our
it
teams,
did.
by the
Herbal.
way.
Painful.
And
So we got the
had
two
plenty of real
stoners,
weed,
Teo
so
and
we
Matt,
should've-
right?
That's right.
There's my
You could
girl.
pretty much have bought weed from anybody working on the set, but
Indeed.
There's my girl.
but we
And-
didn't partake
and
because we're
let-
professionals
let us,
and that's illegal.
Let us just have a moment and say that the actress portraying this role wore her own Uggs
yeah, she
in the
did.
film.
Uggs were
and they
damaged.
got
in the-
ruined.
She got 'em
Let me tell you,
devastated.
ruined.
No animals
by
were
the
hurt,
mud.
but
Stunt
some Uggs
boobs.
were.
Stunt boobs.
Sigh.
I believe
Can I just
Scott
say
had a
that just
boob
like
audition.
3/4 of the crew were male,
And
and
they all
every single
needed to
one of
be in
them
that
stuck around till 3:30 in the a.m. just to see the shooting of that
Stunt
scene.
boobs too.
Yep, stunt boobs.
And can I
Apparently
just
went
say
around
that is
different
the
strip
extent to
clubs
which
and-
men will put everything on hold, sacrifice
For
their lives,
boobs.
their passion, their glory for a
It's
set
like,
of knockers.
it's like the Ron White joke. Once you've seen one pair of boobs, you pretty much want to see the rest of them.
Well, I'd just like to add that even in this room,
I cut the shit out of my feet in
watching
that
this
scene.
movie as we all are, you guys tried to pretend that you were still a part of the audio commentary, but you were all fucking watching the boobs. I mean, you gotta,
I was
you gotta
distracted.
be honest
That
there.
That was the first time I was quiet. Though.
Dude,
Yeah.
where
Exactly.
he just kind of peels away the bra.
Yeah.
And his nipple
It's
pops
already
out.
there.
I mean, come on.
Little
Well,
popping of the nipple.
I believe they just did a rollout on that. He just massaged the
Little
boobs.
pop.
He just massaged on for
Little
like
pop.
the rest of that film canister.
Did that actor actually get to massage
Oh,
the
yeah.
boobs?
No, that guy had the
Yeah.
best.
Well, he was given like free reign to do anything that he
You
wanted to
didn't
do.
get-
And I
he
felt
didn't-
so bad for
there
him 'cause
wasn't
he-
a stunt
Dude, the
didn't
best
see-
extra day ever. He
wasn't
made
like-
out with Chrissy Carlson or
Yeah.
whatever, and then he
had
massaged the boob
massaging of
double.
the breasts.
All
And
of
Does-
I felt so
Tough
bad for him
day,
because he
tough
seemed
day's
so
work.
uncomfortable.
Do stunt
did.
boobs? Does she get a credit in the movie?
I'd
I
say.
don't
Yeah.
Does it say
know.
stunt
Scooter?
boob next
Does she
to
get
it?
credit?
Stunt boob?
Can we get a credit?
Yes.
Can we get a
no?
house
Scotty.
out of that?
The
Yeah,
boobs
that
get
was-
credit.
that's a
Oh,
credit.
they get a
The
credit.
boobs get credit.
Look
That's
under
awesome.
probably
How
body
is it,
double.
How
I'd
is
say
it listed though?
body
How is
double.
it
I'd
listed?
Stunt
say.
boobs.
Body double.
Body
it's
double.
not
Body
called
double.
stunt boobs.
It's called stunt boobs.
It's called eye candy.
What actually?
It's called gift for the.
Look at the deleted
fellas.
scenes, but those stunt boobs actually jumped off a
You need
building
to do a
later
smell-o-vision.
and were in an exploding
A
car.
smell-o-vision
so
version
they
of the
were
film,
re-
Scott,
stunt.
and have
I
like
get it.
her
Come on, work with
perfume.
me.
Yeah,
By
when
the
you
way, for
explain the
anyone
joke.
that's still.
You
Oh,
get
baby
attention.
powder, baby powder. No
I
perfume.
really liked my hair
Just
doing
baby
this,
powder.
in this
I think-
scene.
Oh, that would be so great.
Yeah, Angela had some very
I
in-depth
really
hair.
I liked
hair
my
construction.
hairstyle in this scene.
I like it.
How do you think
did.
your hair's changed since this movie?
Well, you know,
There's one right there.
I'll have this one that's right here.
Here, let me get that.
Do you want me to open?
Thanks, love.
For the record, I am abstaining.
He's a teetotaler.
Good job,
Yes.
teetotaler. Teetotaling Todd.
Thanks, Benny Pace.
Lawrence,
Ooh, and a
Lawrence
lemon.
Welk.
Wow.
And that was another
my new term
creepy,
for you're welcome.
creepy side. Oh, I love this
yeah.
scene.
Oh yeah.
This was
This
great.
scene's fun.
Yeah. I freaking
With the
can't believe I
weapons?
lost those gloves.
Those
I
gloves.
loved those gloves.
I think
What?
this was one of the.
Oh, why? How'd you lose them?
I don't know. Someone stole
I
them.
don't know.
I think somebody stole them.
just
We should
walking around
mention
with
it.
my
You know,
gloves.
some of these nights was
And,
13
somebody
different
said-
actors. We had one trailer, right,
Yeah, we did.
which
We
had
did.
makeup and wardrobe
Right.
and 13 actors.
Hello.
Our friend here is
Hello, my
welcome.
name is Art.
What is your name?
My name is Art.
Where do you come from, my friend?
I come from France.
Do you have a how do you say girlfriend or a
Tell me about the love of your life, Art.
I have lost her.
I'm so
She
sorry
was
to hear
once mine for the taking, but no longer.
But she took her own way out.
And now I shall be forever alone.
We,
Should we,
there's a,
that. This
there's,
was a fun one.
there's an actor in this.
Au revoir.
Yeah.
Au revoir,
I
Art.
must leave.
Oh no!
Bonsoir.
Goodbye.
Don't go
I have
out.
been out.
Al, do
Al.
not go.
I have been your host, Art.
I have been out.
We should mention there's an actor in the movie called Hart Turner.
Yes, who's
who
fantastic.
talked about his French class where his name was pronounced Art.
And then I did his inner monologue for
And then
17 hours
we,
straight.
Which
we
was
improv
fabulous.
it for 3
Should we
weeks.
just do everybody's nicknames?
Yeah, we
Sure.
should.
Who
We
was
probably should cover that because
think
we
You
have
were the
spoken them
bees.
at some point or
You were
another.
bees.
so.
Who
I
were
was bees knees.
Bees
Yes.
knees.
Who
Because why?
was I?
Pache.
Why-
You were Pache.
I guess I'm
Why were you
Pache.
the bees knees?
Because he's the bomb.
Because my name was spelled
He's
weird.
the
Well,
shit.
no, you gotta.
No, didn't
what's
we
your
pick you up at
tagline?
the airport?
You gotta be on your knees to please the bees. Come
That's
on,
right.
Come
That's
on.
right. I'd
And
forgotten about
Angela,
that.
Angela had
As-
Tiny Ange, Little Ange, Tiny Angela Goethals.
She was
Tag,
Tag.
a derivative
Sports,
of Tiny
I
Angela.
believe.
Sports, which was from
Tag
T.V.
Hewer.
Lewis and
Tag
the news.
Hewer.
Oh, I have to say in this part, I'm sorry, I'm flashing the 31 symbol
31.
with my
Oh.
left hand.
His
31,
form.
my group at
Group
Juilliard.
number
number
31.
That was a Freddy
Group
Krueger
31.
reference. Oh, there's the
That's Juilliard.
Pace-mobile.
Shut up.
There's the
Do
Pace-mobile
you
we were
know-
talking about.
And that's the money shot. And I flashed.
I had no
I flashed
idea.
31
Oh, yeah,
in the
he
money
flashed 31.
shot.
It was like
I
this.
had no idea, Nathan.
Like this.
That is
action.
what I am doing.
This car they're
Wow.
about to smash, I drove
I
for a little
actually
while.
punched
Yeah.
out the window. I actually punched out the window.
Well,
That's
it-
They
awesome.
had stunt guys
Real.
that were set to pop the
And
glass.
stunt boobs.
like-
We'd ran it 3 times and they didn't pop the glass.
It was so
I was just
cold.
punching
What?
through
Their
the window.
nipples could have
What were you telling me about that car?
cut through
Oh,
the-
we ran out of
We
gas
ran out
one
of
day.
gas
Punched
on the way home one night.
through the window.
Did you
That
have
was
something on
scary.
your hand?
No, that was bare-fisted, bare-knuckled. I
kidding
punched
me?
through the window.
Had they scored it or cracked it a little? Or?
No, they were
Ben's
going to
like,
tap
please
it.
tell me yes.
They were going to tap it. They had this metal bar. The stunt guys had this metal bar.
I just
to tap the
dislocated my
window.
finger. Oh,
Look,
so they
penny
tapped-
shot.
I
Penny
just
shot.
got a
that's,
paper cut.
That's a.
Can you rewind that? That's
Yeah.
oh, I love the
This
penny
is one
shot.
of the. She has a lot of good screams in this.
She's got great scream.
This actually was
she
amazing
gives
location.
good scream. That's a good kill.
Yeah, that is.
The
And I
house,
get you,
the house with the
almost.
Moldville, the barn with the slide, the orchard building.
I should have
all
said,
that
can you
was on
rewind
one
it there?
property, which
Yeah,
was a
that's
really
true.
cool, perfect
That's
farm.
true.
Yeah.
We shot everything except the actual orchard part.
Well, that farm was really. It actually.
That is art.
It ended up being a very
Hello,
special.
Hello, Alt.
There
Bobby
you are,
E.
Bobby E.
These are the pre-enactments.
You know, I don't think we should call him that on this because
Robert
he doesn't
England.
like to be called
Oh,
that.
he didn't?
Actually, just
Did he
FYI,
make that clear to you?
he did.
I
Actually,
did not know that.
Yeah.
Robert England was a
yeah.
hell of a guy. Very,
I
very talkative,
probably should
interesting
not
guy.
refer to him ever.
You
then.
might
Look how
want
cool.
to think about
That's not your camera, by the camera. That's like warped wood.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the bowing of the wood naturally.
that. Oh my
So
god.
this
that
part
whole
there,
house,
that
that barn
exterior
was so
was a different deal.
fantastic.
Here's the Yannick imagery.
Right,
Yannick.
Girl parts.
right.
It's spelled like yawn, right? Or did I just do that for no reason?
What did you say?
I was yawning.
It's not.
Yeah.
Is it I-A? Yannick?
It's YANNIC. Yeah.
I thought
I thought that
I
was a
think
dub.
it comes from
Y-A-W?
the root
W?
Yanni the Entertainer.
no.
I thought.
Kenny G.
Wait a
Yannick.
second.
Because that guy's such a pussy.
I'm top.
Not like taking.
Nice. Bow it.
meat. But
We
you
bow.
know, like,
Can we bow?
Oh, I think we need
Yeah.
to.
Have you guys still been bowing?
like
Regroup.
YAW.
I'm sorry.
YAW.
Have you
Really?
guys been still bowing since we did this?
How done what?
The
Bowing.
pound it, bow it, show it, know it.
I never
We
did
should
that.
Grow it, stow it,
Stow it.
show it.
Tow it.
You
No.
guys did that.
Mow it.
Throw
That's what
it.
I was talking about. Your rap, the rap that you and Britt had developed.
Oh.
You guys
So
had this whole thing
fantastic.
going that you wanted to. It was so fun. It was something that you wanted to be a part of. I got picked up by these guys at the airport.
Yeah.
I got picked up by Ben
Nathan
and Britton at
got-
the airport
right.
at Portland. My
That
first
was
day in, my
your-
first introduction to this film
Right.
was these two clowns. And they already
beg
had
your
this
pardon?
really strong rap going, and it was
Well,
really
we had
fun.
driven up together.
Yeah,
like
they had
a week
they
earlier.
already had a rapport set up, and they were just
So
creating
you-
this really
you
fun
guys-
thing that I wanted to be a part
It
of.
was
Wait,
really-
you guys drove from LA to Portland,
Yes.
Oregon, together.
Well, here's how it was. It
And
was
then
like
Scott forced us to room together.
'cause-
And then Scott
right,
forced
he had
us-
very draconian tactics.
Yes.
He really
But
wanted
I would
to.
make it clear, though, that it wasn't a rap that Ben and I had. It was that I had to learn Ben's language
Of rapport.
in order to
It was a
communicate
question
with
of
him.
survival, I think. Survival of the fittest.
If we were going to make a movie,
It was like,
we all had to know what the fuck Ben was talking about at any given time.
It's the paceisms, the
And speaking
Banglish.
of which, Snoogin, Doogin, Floogin, Flip
Fleeble
Floor,
floor.
Fleeble in the
Scott
beeve.
Glosserman has
That
his
needs to
own
be addressed.
language.
That really.
He has
needs
a
to be
language
addressed.
Yes.
of gay unicorns.
and it's actually fantastic
Fleabin
because
snorbs.
it's
and your
fantastic and
twinkle
also
bots.
terrifying because you start to really know what the shit means, and then
But
Yeah.
you don't,
Never
because
And then
like,
you-
he'd
but-
yell
but you-
Snoogin after something.
I
Right.
always
You don't know whether it's
resisted
awesome
it.
or
But,
holy
but,
shit.
but the thing is that I think you know what you want to know,
Right.
Almost,
It's
and it's
choose
like
your own
you know,
direction.
it's like whatever you
Search
feel,
your feelings, Luke.
whatever you feel internally is maybe you know if you feel like it sort of sucked, and he says Deebleflorb, you're like, oh,
Scott and Bridget.
I
were
knew
so
it, I knew
awesome
it,
in
you
He
that
know.
also
scene.
was hopped up on Dayquil for the last 7 days of the shoot.
Scott was pretty
which
much
had a
in
pretty
Which has
whopping
everything
fever.
that NyQuil has in it, plus caffeine.
Right.
I mean, it's
This-
going to zonk you
I
out.
love this
Your first
sequence.
clue is that it comes with its own shot glass.
because you
Oh,
guys
this was so much fun.
improvised
This
whole
was
thing.
this was why we
And
were
the
running
cats
late on
in the
time was
cradle and the
because
silver
we knew that we
spoon.
had time to
Little
set up.
boy blue
They were
and the
digging
man in
the
the
capsule
moon.
out in the ground,
We're going
and we
on
had a
time,
little bit of
don't know
daytime, and
where.
Scott was
Right.
there, and
We'll
he
get together
said,
then.
you know, hey,
Dad.
let's shoot
Know I
just
have a
some
good
stuff that
time.
we can maybe throw in and use later on.
I don't know if you remember that Bridget and I had a similar, you know,
Yeah, I
moment where
remember
we
that.
were
I've seen the
supposed to
scene.
be. It wasn't very.
When you guys had that
thought it was
pillow
great.
fight and
I
then shower
really,
together?
I mean, you guys had this great like relationship going on, and I just felt so awkward.
Did you have like a Survivor Girl
anything.
vibe?
Well, because your role was
written
basically
down to say? So
You were
I
a
was-
your role was
skeptic.
basically just like not knowing.
we were like
how
drinking
to...
tea, and we were like, tea, you know, it was
Do I taste
sort
a
of.
lemon?
But that's still.
So this scene is
packs
huge.
so
This
much
is one of the
punch.
most
that
memorable
valid?
scenes.
Oh,
So
Babe.
you
it's
went
so
to
great.
Juilliard, so if you say it's
Basil.
valid, I feel like
Talk to me
I
about
did
the
my
scene.
job.
You were in Home Alone. Can I just say?
That's right. Angela Goethals was in Home Alone.
And I just saw
Kevin,
that
you're
scene
what
for
the French
first
call
time.
les incompetents.
Les incompetents.
And we watched that. Remember on Thanksgiving when we were
I
in,
saw
Park,
little
in
Angela
Portland?
Goethals, and
Right.
she was saying that line,
Home
and I
Alone
was just
came
like,
on TV while we were
That's
filming
what
this movie.
everybody
And she
said.
was
You know what?
adorable.
But another great movie is called Behind the Mask.
Basil,
Oh,
talk
Rise
about
of
this
Leslie
scene a little.
Vernon.
People, I think,
I
really
love
like
this
this scene.
scene.
oh, the
It's my
part
favorite.
where I'm
You're-
doing that whole that was it was kind of an
Star Trek.
amalgamation. That was Star Trek, you know, the old William Shatner series. The rolling credits at the end. There's always this alien at the end there, who does this kind of Kirk, you know, that kind of thing. And then also Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the second one. There's this really insanely creepy moment at the
Right
end
there,
of the
that-
movie. Yeah, that one. Where
Look like a panda.
where the last woman alive, or at least she thought, you know, that hasn't been taken over. She sees somebody that she recognizes, and he was like one of the last holdouts. She knew that that he would be safe. She runs up to him and she's like,
You did
"Oh!"
that,
And this is Donald Sutherland. She's like, "Oh, you made it! You made it! That's so
goodness,
great!" Blah blah blah. She reveals herself as like not being, you know, one of the body snatchers, one of the aliens, and he looks at her and he just does this kind of like, and it's freaky, and that's how the movie ends. So that's
That
another
was
This
thing.
scene
kind
too,
of-
actually, I think these two together
Can
really
I just
work
say
well.
something about the last scene though before we move on?
Yeah.
One of the things that when I watch the movie now that I think is cool is that I was alternating between looking at
Oh, that's right.
Nathan in the mirror and
right.
at the real Nathan.
That's right.
And so my eyes keep on moving, and at first I was watching and I was like, why am I doing that? Like what I don't
Right.
but it's actually a real thing, but nobody quite knows what it is.
Right.
So I think it kind of adds this like possibly, you know, what the fuck, or also like,
Yeah.
oh, that's kind of weird and interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Or
Yeah.
ADD.
Right.
This scene, though,
Or,
is what we were talking
you
about
know-
earlier, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Vaz,
this
you were
one,
talking
this
about
one ends
you were in
up
a
being
field.
so caring. The way it ends is so caring. The way you're like holding my hand and stuff like that.
Well,
And
they
I
cut it
realized
well,
around
too.
this time, yeah,
It's a good
I
edit.
realized around this time that we were working on this and we got to this scene. I realized, gosh, you know, you're the one that I'm in love with. You know, like I've been creating this situation and everything, and I want all the, you know, dominoes to fall into place. But ultimately, you know, I think you could be the one.
You,
And-
Taylor?
Yeah.
You Taylor could be the one, and I'm falling in love, and you know I'm trying to walk it very delicately so that the audience doesn't know that I'm putting that kind of focus on her. But
But that was sort of
Hey,
an
talk
odd
about-
take to be
It was
really
also cool
sad but
because-
happy.
Right. Just a behind the
Right.
scenes
How'd you
note
decide to do
that
that?
when right before we started filming that scene, Nathan was listening to his headphones.
well, that's
He was
what it
listening
was.
to the Spice
and
Girls.
he was like,
As
yeah,
usual.
Well, you know what
exactly.
it was. It
and
was
he and then right before we did it, he just put the headphones on me and he was like, "Just so you know, like where I am.
This is what's
Like,
going on in my
this
mind."
is, you know,
I'm a Barbie
And
girl.
I
Well, it was Sigur Rós. It was their Parenthesis album, and it was the first
he was
track on the
listening to
Parenthesis album. And I was dropped off at that farm location. I guess it was about
It's
a
a
week
very
before we
dark
started
shot,
shooting
yeah.
there. And it was the first time I'd ever been on the location, and I was just given hours to just kind of walk around. This was my spot, you know?
right.
And I just started walking around, and I was listening to that album. I found myself in the middle of a field one time. I mean, this was a huge expanse of land.
loving it.
And I just found myself, you know, as I'm watching the sunset, and I was just like one of the most gorgeous, most peaceful places that I could. And I was paid to be there, and I was paid to be on an exciting project doing great work that I was
Right.
enjoying doing
Yeah.
It was
so much. I was like, this
Big time
this-
leading role.
Oh yeah, and I was like listening to this music, and I was like, this. I feel like this is the best I've felt in my life and so long. And I realized that's what that scene is. He's
That's great.
he's a guy that is at that precipice, and he's about to step off on it, and it's a really horrifying and incredibly beautiful thing at the same time.
But it's
Right.
it's that you have kind of a unique take on that, and I think a lot of that you have a unique take on the character that makes it so interesting to watch, and that's
well,
what
I
made
just
everyone
had
so
I
excited
had
to
a
be
personal
working on it.
take on the character because it felt for me like this character was reflecting so much of what I felt like I was trying to do in my career, you know. So
Right.
there was a
Kill
symmetry
people,
there that was
right?
not.
Mass
I'm
murder.
not trying to kill people in my day
Oh,
to
this
day.
this is the first
Right.
murder, and there's some very
just
bloody swishing
incapacitate
no-
them greatly.
I should mention that I did the male hookup noising in the
I hate
previous
people.
scene with some random girl.
Was it method?
Right.
I want to
Yeah, I was
kill
like,
them.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
I pictured you.
What
I
about-
pictured you rooming next to me in the Murphy bed.
What
Right.
about the beginning of the scene, Baze?
Yeah, when you roll in.
where they didn't want to let you.
Oh
crawl
right,
out
there was
on the
all
roof.
this. Yeah, there was all that
Yeah,
stuff
there
about.
was all the drama.
If you fall, the whole movie shut down
Right,
forever.
We should mention it's a
Right.
second-story window with like a.
It's actually a
I
real
had about
house.
I had about
It's
two
not
and a
a
half
Hollywood
feet
set.
of like
it's
rooftop
like a real.
to sit
So he was
on before I
perching
fell
right-
off.
hanging out a window,
However,
basically.
however, it is. Let's be honest, like a real. I mean,
Structure.
there's a big drop there.
Yeah, but
if
it was.
you were to have fallen.
But like the pluses way outweighed the
You
negatives.
should have just put a
I
PA
agree.
under you.
and I
in
felt
case
like
you
even
fell.
for that little bit of for
was
that
worth
little
it.
bit
And
of
you did your
payoff,
monkey roll in.
it was worth
too,
it.
Which was
I
kinda
did the
funny.
monkey roll,
I think it was so worth
and
it.
that's what
There's
you
the
gotta do.
Zontal stripes.
Guess what? Guess what we're about to get?
We're about to get into the film.
Positive pace.
We're about to get-
face.
That's right.
And some spelling bee.
We're about. All right.
And
this is.
Introduced
Britannicus.
by what's one of my.
This
well,
scene
probably
is really good.
I
yeah.
think this is my favorite scene in the film.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite scene in the film because I had no idea how it
When
was
you-
going to go down.
When you throw the mask up on your head too, and it's
And I
kind of
love
up
it.
there.
it
And
all worked out. It
And
all
you
worked
said
out.
you told me something, Nathan. That I don't know if you remember, but when you did that like turnaround, there you were inspired by something, and I kind of forget what it was, but it was some.
What
it was,
made
It was
you
almost like
motivated
a
you to
Ralph
walk?
Cramden, or like a there was
Oh,
some,
right,
or like
right,
a
right.
Kramer, or some kind
What
of
was
like
that?
you went and then you turned around and you were like, it's just because.
Give me a Ralph. Cramden.
Because
I
you
can't
were,
remember what
you know,
it
you were
was,
like
though.
goodbye, and you walk off dramatically, and then
Right.
you like spin around, and you're like, well, it's just and you have to
can't
like
remember
over
what that
explain
was.
it
Right.
somehow.
This is my favorite line of mine in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he says,
What is
"Best luck to you
Yeah,
the rest of the
man.
way," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, you too."
I had a bunch of lines here. They probably all could have. We did a lot in ADR.
And this is
and
my
it didn't
this is
all
my
work.
Todd. This is my way
But
of
it
telling
was-
you, hey man,
Adios,
I'm going to
amigo.
introduce you to the other world as gracefully as I can.
You know what's something that's unfortunate though is that we cut that moment where you get his name wrong, Doug Yog. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you say it here, and it's like what?
No, and earlier with the deck of
You're
cards,
like-
it's because when he first says like, "And your name is," and I'm like, Doug, because I'm supposed to be scared.
right.
So you were now,
But-
Doug.
But they cut that. But the few you always refer to me as Doug.
right.
Yeah, this bit with the journalism and stuff. Very funny.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
And you were. This scene breaks my heart a little bit because I.
It's
I
good,
just,
Angela.
I
you're,
just, I
you're
was so.
very good.
I was so in love with you in this scene.
We kind of, by the way, too, to be Doug, who you haven't heard or seen from yet, but I was there the whole time. I was kind of in love with Taylor too,
Yeah.
which I threw in a little later.
I
Yeah,
just wanted to see
you
more
really
boobs.
did.
He was in love with boobs and legs with
Boobs.
schoolgirl outfits.
Legs with boobs.
Legs with boobs on them.
Hey, you know what? The boobs don't even need legs.
Just floating boobs, boobillas. But I think it's the fact that you're still being really heartfelt and sort of meaningful here, and yet you have the mask on and this makeup on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
That
little
is
bit of
a-
a dichotomy there.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's
Of beauty and
ironical.
pain.
Beauty and pain. It's a roller coaster ride.
I love
And
it.
you're
I
always
love this
swatting at
swipe that you
imaginary
do. I like it.
He does too, I think.
I
But it's
I
not
worked him in
imaginary.
whenever I
He's
could.
really trying to
trying to swipe
and then
cut
the
shit
twirl.
down.
There's one.
I
And
mean,
then there's the twirl
some
too.
branches that got in my way.
He does a twirl.
there's real.
When it's like, and he had nothing to
Bitch,
hoe the
step
field
back.
but a hand
You're not
sight.
gonna get in my way, branch.
All right, check it.
We got
we're,
some Zontals.
we're like T minus 15
Let's
seconds
do
to
the
Pay's
countdown.
face. Okay.
Should we really do the countdown?
Maybe
No,
we
no,
should.
no.
I think we should.
I don't know.
I called it about
If you'll
20
notice,
seconds.
in the library
19,
they do the aerial
18,
shot down as well, so
17,
that they
Right.
try to
16,
mimic that shot. To,
15,
to,
14, 13, 12,
stop it.
11,
11,
The documentary's done. Now I'm
9,
editing it.
9,
8, 7,
Whoa, it's pretty
6.
accurate.
We may need to slow down.
5,
4,
5,
3,
4,
3.
2, 1. Oh my God, I did it! I did it! That was beautiful.
I did the pace face! Reveal.
Look how serious we are.
There
Or
it
I
is.
am.
There's the Brit. There's
I
the
might be
pace.
maniacal. What are you doing? There's Britain looking awesome.
This was one of my audition scenes. without
really?
you. Yeah. This was one of my first.
I want to see your audition stuff. I never
so,
saw your audition.
in a way,
stuff.
the M. Night Shyamalan reveal was seeing what we actually looked like.
Can anybody comment on the fact that I called that down to the
That was
second?
pretty cash.
that
You've
the
worked
reveal
this,
happened?
You've watched this too many times.
No, I haven't. I didn't. Come on.
You're amazing, Baze.
Thank you.
Basil,
Fuck.
did you learn that at your
I think
third
so.
year
I have
at
to fish for
Juilliard?
I
that.
think so too. I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
And even more than amazing.
Thank you.
I think.
God.
Guys, quit talking over my precious screen time.
By the way, I should mention that I didn't realize how many times we dropped the F-bomb until I
Balls.
watched part of this in front of my grandmother and mom.
Are you going to talk during the balls
Balls.
moment?
Oh,
balls.
Balls.
Come on, man.
I think I improvised that balls.
You
and I
did.
loved every damn second
Every
of it.
balls moment.
This
of
always
it.
gets a good laugh, yeah.
I hated that line when we were shooting it.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how I like it?
This
it's,
we walked
it's pretty
in.
fantastic.
This, what did I have to do? My aggro dance? Agi-dance. At one point I stand in the
no,
background.
you weren't
Scott's-
trying to grow crops. It was an
aggro-
agitated dance. Agi dance.
Scott was like, just move more. Move around a little more.
Scott was like, you seem really calm. You need to just.
I was like, do you want me to, be more stressed out, or do you want me to emotionally feel it? He's like, no, just move your body more.
Oh
And
my
it
gosh.
works.
I gotta go pee, guys.
Wow.
Should we take a break?
No, we don't have to do that. This is your stuff. Right
I'm gonna.
Oh,
pee, too.
Yeah.
here we go
It's
with
just
the
me and Tiny Ann.
Oh, I thought
awesome.
we were taking a break.
We
Oh,
planned
you're gonna miss
this.
the.
Pee. I'll come right back.
All right, come on.
All right.
So the bees is peeing, as is the pace.
Yes.
And
Taking a break?
I think
we're not taking a break.
There doesn't seem to be
Anyone around? I think we're alone now.
Look at the way we
are
got
co-
around what we're doing.
But watch what they say. They don't understand, and so we're running just as fast as we can. Holding on to one another's hand. All right, here we go. Back to the movie.
Back to the movie. After a brief masturbatorial
Right,
session.
that was awful. Clearly, I'm not a singer, but Britain is.
That's how I make my living, guys.
Exactly. So, what are we looking at here?
We're
We've got
looking
the
at-
stoners. We're trying to figure
and
out,
we just saw her do the reverse cowgirl.
which was awesome. Can I just say a note about that? One of the takes that we did of that scene, Kate was flinging her bra around in the air, and it accidentally got hooked onto the sound guy's boom, onto the mic, and it just hung there. And she kept going. God bless her. She just kept going. I don't even know how. It suddenly the bra was like out of frame, dangling somewhere. And
I had the misfortune of standing right behind Ben and his enormous head, so I couldn't see very much.
Crash, the door slammed shut. You were there? You thought you saw a guy standing in the shadows watching you, didn't you?
Welcome back, Pace Face.
we've been silent this entire time.
You're back in time for Man Lunge, which comes up pretty soon.
Oh, are we still rolling here?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, I thought we
I
were taking
just-
in a government
I
sanctioned
was just
break
telling
there.
about how Katie's bra got stuck on the boom. Do you
How
remember
her
that?
bra got stuck on my face.
And I
Oh
was
my
saying how I
goodness.
couldn't see it because of your enormous melon.
Because of your huge heat.
We did the little
Heed pants now.
I did the Scooby-Doo shot where we all bump into the back of each other, but they cut out when we run in.
Yeah.
I believe my line was,
That's
holy
in
fucking
there.
shit!
I believe mine was fucking fuck.
And what was yours?
I think mine was like, good lord, no.
Man,
Taylor
I'm like,
doesn't curse.
Darn.
Taylor doesn't curse, please.
What's up, Zontles? I kind of hated that shirt at first, but then it grew on me because you can sort of see it easily. And
Okay,
plus it
right in time for
bonded
Man
with my
Lunge.
skin.
Oh, man lunch?
Man Lunge
Nice.
is this scene
There
right
was
here.
Baze
again.
doing the looking
Creepy
all
guy at
creepy.
the window?
Yeah,
Now,
you
remember-
were creeping out.
Remember the principles of the Man Lunge.
Okay.
It is Ben holding the door while I'm holding Ben.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yes.
And then Angela holding on
Holding
for dear life.
right.
She's like Tobey Maguire on Seabiscuit.
What?
Red-headed. That's what I meant.
The Godiva of the Seabiscuit.
Red.
Isn't he sort of red-headed?
Yes, he
I
is.
believe his name was Red.
The brilliant mind
I'm
of
extremely-
Mr. Benjamin Pace.
I'm extremely dramatic.
Why would he do
I
that?
think
Okay, I don't
think I
like
was
my
leaning and
performance
punching
coming up in
things
this
constantly.
shot. Here,
At the
he didn't
window?
see you.
Here's another
I hate
fuck.
that. Hate it. Hate
Here's
it.
another fuck.
Still hating
I'm about
it.
to punch the wall. F yeah.
And
Love
break your
those
hand
two guys.
again.
Hate
Ow.
myself.
I punched the stain of the creepy guy next to the closet.
The creepy guy that I thought was a woman until you pointed out
Until
her
you
That it was
pointed
her
out
marbles.
his
man.
merkin.
until you pointed out her package.
This was
Which,
about one of
jeez.
30 shots where we run out and go, ah! And then run away.
Which
Love
we
those
did
shots.
this
That's
at
my
like
fourth favorite line of the whole movie.
2 in the morning.
Dude, I'm
Cover
going
what,
in.
dude?
Cover me with what?
Cover you with what, dude?
I believe this shot actually
But he delivered it
storyboarded.
as best one could, given
Which
the
was
circumstances, don't you think?
I think I'm sincere. I love that
Oh,
line.
good. Okay, good.
No, I really like this shot. I remember
Good.
this was one of the few I got to storyboard before.
That's not a scarecrow.
So, I
That's
wanna
a
put
man
this-
who's bent on killing me.
I want to put this in my room, dude.
I love it.
Those guys were uber wasted.
That was a great edit. That did not turn out great. We had a lot of gag problems with that, and that ended up editing together
Yeah,
very well.
there was
Thank you,
some-
Andrew.
There was
I-
some
I
last minute
love that.
finagling on some of the.
I love when Matt backs up and bumps into you.
Oh yeah, that's a great backup. Look at that. He bumps into my package, realizes, wow, there's
And
a
you've
stiffy
got the
that's waiting
post
me.
hole digger.
What is going on? You're gonna stick it to me, aren't you?
Here we go.
The guy's backs around the corner. What?
Angela, I remember you
Oh,
had
not
nothing
in the chest
scripted
cavity.
there, and we ran out, and you let out this
That's
gut-wrenching
painful. Look, he
And
pulled
not
out his
only
heart,
that,
and
but
that's not
we were
right.
looking at nothing
No, we were
because
looking
there
at-
was
we were looking
nothing
at someone
there,
waving his hands.
and
bleeding that cow's
and it was
heart
like 3:30 in the
through my
morning or something.
hands.
And you
That's
shocked
not
at no, and it
right.
shocked me right into the
Look
into the
at
context.
how
of the
I'm
scene.
dying, holding
This
my
is-
own.
I believe
bleeding
I
heart.
improv the phrase "Come on" about 35 times.
Nice.
Every time
Our
I'd run
fucking
in and
tires
out.
are slashed on all our cars.
on all our
Cars.
cars. That line is
Our fucking tires are slashed on all our cars.
Come on, guys! My hair product was in there.
Delivered with the same intensity.
Yeah.
I think
Get these motherfucking snakes off my motherfucking plane.
There's a good line. There's
That should be the same
Yeah.
from this film, right? They should
jumps
punch
on
that
the
into
nerdy
the
kids
commercials.
Johnson.
Our fucking tires are slashed on all our cars.
How about
Well, in a way,
how
Shane
about
was
the
the voice of
85%
reason.
of all whores know that they're whores.
That's a great one.
You made that up.
Everybody,
That's-
Like that.
listen up.
liking
That's
that.
It's a very classic improv trick of making up a statistic. I like it. Very, very professional.
Yeah.
What else do you know, Viola Spolin?
We're nothing
I know
if
that
not
I
professional.
may or may not need a haircut. in this. You can barely tell I'm wearing that wig, huh? It looked pretty good. I borrowed it from
I was very seldom
a
without a hat
Samoan woman.
on this production.
You had a lot of hats.
It's true.
Running in the mud there was more challenging than I
Uh-oh,
think.
dead bodies.
Dead
Freedom!
bodies, don't do
Fuck, fuck,
that.
That was their
Fuck,
only
fuck, fuck.
role in the movie.
That was our.
That was
the-
their only
that was
role.
the guy
here
who
comes, here
catered.
comes my
Yeah, that was the
potential.
catering.
That was the
I
caterer
know.
for the film. the
There's
guy.
a different shot of me climbing in there that shows ass crack.
Oh
That was
yeah,
your
we
love
missed
head.
the
Scott
ass
would
crack.
not put it in the
Oh,
movie.
this is one of my favorite lines.
There's your Chris Farley moment there.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I refute that.
There was a little bit of Chris
I
in
mean,
there.
your
You
Britain
refute?
Spellings moment.
I am not
Here
Fat
I
Man in a
stepped
Little Coat.
over the body. There you go.
I don't have a bear claw cut right
Wait,
there.
here's a man lunch coming up.
All right,
Oh my
man.
God.
Let's get the man lunge.
So we're on this room. Nobody knows who
It's
anybody
very
is.
small. Kate's very
We
tall,
all know
and
lunge
she's a
needs
model.
to happen.
Britain also mentioned. Hart also mentions the cell phones are out too, which
That's
is.
right.
I'm glad they throw that
There's
in.
no
It's a little realism.
wait, and just to
Because
let everyone
Leslie's
know,
jammed the
and I don't
signal.
think Scott
Why
knows
me?
this. Can I drop a bomb? Scott asked me. He was like, at a certain point, he's like, I want you to figure out. I want you to register that you're a virgin and that
Did you do
he's
that here?
looking for a virgin, and this is where I did it.
So
Right
you didn't
here.
I said,
do it in
I
the
said,
reveal scene?
I said, no.
Me?
I said,
But then
he
how
thi-
did you make
wait,
that?
But
that
the
transition?
bees, you have to just silence yourself for a moment.
Snap.
She says, what's going on? Why are you protecting me? Kelly does.
Wait.
And I say, he thinks you're a virgin, which you clearly are not. I
Oh,
kind of punched
snap.
up the you.
Oh, the you.
Some of us are, but you are not.
Wow. Right here, you mean?
I believe
It's
that.
so...
Angela, I'm gonna pound
It's so
that out.
overly
I'm gonna bow
simple,
it.
but I got the thumbs up from Scotty, who
Oh, here we
is
go, man lunge.
Captain,
Man
my
lunge.
captain.
There it is.
Except in that shot, you can't really see, but one time he really just gripped me, and I started giggling.
Don't do it, Kelly.
That's a good. That's
He's
funny.
cut all the branches. He's pre-cut them.
Just so you know, we shot that from the first
And
floor window.
Kate did her own stunt on that one too, which
Yes, she
Yeah,
did. She
there
was
was a lot
granted
of-
it was on the first
look,
floor,
this
but
is, this is the pulled hammy scene.
Oh yeah, pull it.
Britton is a trooper, by the way. He
Yeah.
pulled a hamstring in every shot.
Look,
of
okay,
Of the
running.
film.
I'm clearly hobbling. they,
And then Scott Glosserman would be like, "Okay, can we go again?" And so he'd pull the other.
be like,
hammy.
sure.
He pulled 25 hammies.
And
in the
that's
course of
Have
our
a Nice
film.
Summer. You were really adamant about
Have
that
a Nice
line.
Summer.
Have a Nice Summer is an ode
was-
to my godson Zachary, because his answering machine says,
like
you know,
his
we're
silhouette
not here. Please leave a brief message. Have a nice summer. Year round, by the way.
Dude,
So,
I love it.
Do you
threw
remember
that
the
in.
one take where I stopped the mud and you stopped too and slammed your skull into my mouth?
Indeed.
That was
These-
awesome.
this
Did
is
that one make it
clearly-
in?
This is the other money shot.
That's
was
a money shot.
I got hypothermia. This was the hypothermia night.
He had bare feet, which you might not notice.
Bare
but-
feet. I was just psyching myself out.
And
I
this
went into
was-
that other
this
place
This
in my
was,
mind.
this was supposed to be so much cooler.
I
It
think
still worked. It still
But-
worked.
No, but I
But
think the fact
I
that it
think-
doesn't reveal much, I
But
think is
Britt,
good.
I think you should talk about this scene because
Yeah.
you were really nervous
you were
about
worked
this
up
scene.
about
No,
it.
the
Yeah.
pig blood.
I was.
And-
It-
The
I
mud
was supposed
blood.
to be in a puddle, like a big pond
Like a
of
Yeah.
field.
fucking blood mud.
A field
Yeah.
of mud blood.
And to the point that I got a wetsuit. I'm wearing a wetsuit under that because it's 7 degrees.
well, it's
at
not called a
4 o'clock in the
wetsuit if you
morning.
just pee your pants. But
Okay.
anyways. So you were wearing a wetsuit. Jesus.
You've totally derailed me, Ben.
No.
Damn it.
You
We'll
were
talk about it
expecting
next
to go
week
in
in
a
group.
lake of mud
It's
blood.
fine.
And I went into
Yes.
a puddle of blood mud.
Yes.
But
There was still
but you
enough.
also
Mud
knew
blood.
at that point you'd seen so many of the debacles that we'd had in terms of like setting up stunts and
But
stuff like
people
that.
have told me.
Panties!
All right, panties.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
derailed me there.
But people have told me that
That trumps.
that scene in particular is
I was out of breath 'cause I
really
Having a
intense for
Emotional.
them because you make him take his mask off.
Yeah.
And your expression and the fact that we don't see Todd,
You know what
don't
I love
see
about
Britton,
that scene?
and we just see you
Yeah,
responding,
is the fact
and
that
we
people that don't watch horror movies,
That
that's
works
not
them
the
up.
genre that they go to see. They can see that scene and they can get really stoked up by it, but they're not privy to all of the stuff that's present in so many horror films these
So
days.
it's not
where
bloody,
It's
gory.
the gore, it's
Yeah.
the blood, it's the it's the.
This
they can
scene,
still watch
Angela-
that scene, get the same emotional charge out of
Yeah.
it,
This
and
was
not
your big,
have to be exposed to all that shit. And if it does this, gets the same result, well, hey, that's great. Show less every
Right.
time.
Which sometimes is more interesting, like Jaws. Remember they couldn't.
Jaws, exactly. No, it's the
That
same.
was an
It's the
accident,
same
though.
rationale.
Right, but it worked.
And for us, it was
This,
an accident
this scene,
as well. I mean,
for the
we-
record, Angela Goethals can bring it on every take, every time.
she's the bomb.
Other people had like this menthol thing where you blow it in their eyes and makes them cry. Other people.
That's all I ever
Melange
do.
didn't need that.
That
She could
and
just
onions,
work
I
it.
love this
I
scene.
grind onion cores
scene's
into
good.
my eyeball.
I love
My-
when Chrissy Carlson
I
says,
think
please,
I think
you
my
have to tell
favorite
me what
How
happens to
awesome
me."
did Chrissy
my
Carlson
favorite
turn
thing
out to be?
about this
fucking
scene,
brought it.
I think, is that I sort of as a
You kicked me away there
As
and I was
a-
offended.
fucked up, actress, I sort of was like, this is my emotional scene.
Yeah.
And the first time we saw this movie with an audience, when she said, when Shane
Yeah,
says, that's
it's
it,
you."
you're the virgin, and I do this like, it got a laugh. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's funny. I was like, thank you for putting that in perspective for me because
Really?
I was all ready to be like, oh my goodness,
Right.
this is
Well,
like
it's
the
not.
serious.
It's
But
pretty serious.
well, it's serious, but it's also like
This
it was
takes
great.
place in the context of a horror film.
Yeah.
By the way,
and,
running
People
and,
need to
jumping
plug themselves
over
in at a
things
certain
with
point
toxic
intellectually
balloons
into
Totally.
the concept of
and the
I
film.
like
fact
this
that
shot a lot
the
here,
fact
the
that
the
someone
shovel
says,
shot.
you're a virgin, and I'm like,
For the
It's
record, I
kind
got
of
to
funny. It's kinda
smack
awesome.
Robert Englund in the head with a shovel.
That's always
That's
nice.
right.
And it had a
That's
rubber
not
end.
good.
But I'd like to say that's for
Don't
scaring
do
the
it!
crap out of me as Freddy Krueger as a little kid. I'd finally got him back.
and in
And
some
actually,
of
right
the
here, this
in,
is one shot where he released sound. So if you notice, my lips move, but they don't. There's no voice.
I
Right-
did not notice that.
right here. But you might not be able to notice it.
I did
what
not.
did you say?
I said no or
You were
something.
in shadow. It was very
Panties!
Orwellian.
Panties!
Just how many times did they use that panty shot?
Oh, I love panties.
Maybe that's what you said.
Panties.
I love this combat shot.
Yeah, Hart really got into this.
Oh yeah, he was
Arms.
great. We did really fun stuff together. It was a really physical scene.
He was really
Yeah.
and
psyched
he
to
pulls
have
me
this
out
death,
over this
too.
like 4, 5.
Yeah.
How long was that drop? I don't
That
even know.
was not.
Probably 10
That was
feet.
like 8 to 10 feet.
Oh, really?
I would
And
say.
his
yeah.
that's
It was
he
a
just,
great
He
drop.
was just hanging
but
there
yeah,
for
he's
like
just sitting
hours.
there hanging on a line, and he was just such a trooper.
There should be some cool behind the scenes footage.
It
of
was
this
so
stuff.
awesome.
Well, that the scene didn't come together the way we wanted it to. I mean, there were only 2 camera positions.
Did you
and
see
we
the
were,
Halloween?
We were hoping
sit-up?
to have
He did the.
The
it
Halloween
caught in
setup.
such a way that when
Because-
he's going off, he clearly grabs
God.
my shirt and pulls me off. And we weren't able to do that with the shots with the camera positions that we had.
P.S. Scotty wanted to cut that line when I
What?
said, "Hi, Doc," and
Yeah.
I fought
like
for
that
Where
it.
line.
you look.
I
wait,
fought
'cause you
for
look
it.
like
It
about
was a
as-
little campy.
Oh, look! This
but-
is one of my favorite. Oh, look that leg pop up. That's so like.
This is kind of money.
That's so coy.
We improved a lot of this. I
It's
believe
so coy,
the
like
"I
a
love her
chi-
man" line
like,
was not in the
run,
script.
run, chase me, but kind of coy.
Yeah,
I love
you
how
thought?
Leslie takes care of Doug right here.
This was my one big stunt. I did all my own stunt, and he literally slammed my head into the wall, and I fell over. It really was not that hard, and that kind of hurt like a mother.
And you wanted me
Yeah.
to step all over you and grind your face into the.
I'm not sure I
I
said
got
that.
I'd like
I
to
got
point
the
something out.
But you
hugest
did. You
the
did
bar leg.
bruises on my legs from sliding down.
I'd like
that
to point
sliding
We
something
all
out.
got pretty
FYI.
involved here.
You're about to find my body here,
Yes,
and I'm covered in mud and blood.
blood
it's
mud,
true.
really.
He is.
They covered me with actual fucking mud.
Mud
Yep.
blood.
And they didn't get it from a field or
No.
a pasture. They got it from like the fucking
standing
road,
water
the
puddle.
dirt road in Dinsham. They just
Yep.
shoveled a bunch of fucking cow feces, motor grease,
And oil.
fucking tobacco spit,
and
coyote urine, all kinds of shit, and they're just rubbing this
And
shit
hay.
all over me.
Okay, now I need to say that this night we're shooting this scene. This was the first time that I was ever like for real Leslie Vernon dressed up in
Yeah.
the gear and all that
It was
stuff.
fairly horrifying.
Well, it wasn't for me. It felt like Dorkfest
psyched.
3000. I did not know what the hell I was doing as this guy. I was working on this physicality. Scott stopped me like 3 times. 3 different takes. He stopped me from doing what I was doing because he was like, "No, you need to do less. You need to do less. You need to do less." And I'm like,
is
at a
that
certain
when you were doing the like?
I was doing.
He was doing
Well,
a physicality.
I was working on a conceptual thing that didn't quite
Which
pay
I
off.
thought was
Juilliard, year
fantastic.
3.
I was working on a concept that didn't pay off, and Scott schooled me, and I'm glad that I took his notes, Herr Professor, because what ended up happening was just a very
he
minimal
signed the
physicality
checks.
as opposed to something that was much more young
Pronounced.
And by the way,
and
yeah.
effeminate.
Angela, watching
it
this scene,
could be said.
Perhaps.
women
Perhaps.
really.
So let's-
women really get intense in the scenes. I watched this at a theater near some young women, and they were all like on the edge of their seats for this bit. They really, I think, you worked it out.
Slicing at apple branches
Yeah.
that really does it for some chicks.
And awake because
like
you're
that.
not like huge and muscular and whatever. That you're kind of petite.
Oh,
Makes
come
it
on.
Sort of badass.
I've got major. Look at this.
No, not
look
you're
at how
not
she
petite.
sells
She's
it.
petite.
Look
All
at
right,
that.
But look what she does with the stick.
Puts it down.
She
Don't
puts it
turn
down. She
around.
picks
Don't
it up.
walk
She puts
away.
it down. She picks it up.
Don't turn
She
around and
puts it
walk
You got a
away.
love-hate relationship with this stick.
Don't do that. Turn around and walk. Do you need to pee too? Okay.
Got to get the stick.
Don't. Why do you walk away?
Lalange.
Darling.
Don't
Look it.
look. The minute you
place.
you turn away, he's gonna
you?
do a
Oh, is
backflip
that
and
it?
disappear into the apple orchard.
All right, you've got the axe handle back now.
Right. Because I picked
So now that you have the axe handle, you've got the phallic weapon, and you can.
There you go.
Gracias.
You're a charmer.
Well,
Face.
you know.
I am.
All right, stick,
Stick or no stick?
no stick.
Also, if you really want to watch closely,
Thank you.
some of her jeans have backet pockets. Some
This-
don't.
Can I just say
I was the
that
unofficial
Tag
booty
wore,
actually-
watcher.
Tag wore
Ben
the
Pace-
hottest, most skin
In
adhesive-
30 degree
adhesive
3 a.m.
jeans
Yeah.
that one could ever hope to possess. She really wore the crap out of those jeans.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, there was a
The
minor.
Pace was the
I look
only
exactly
one
the
that.
same in jeans, only bigger.
I was the unofficial booty watcher of the crew. I pointed out a
noticed.
I love how they made this room look like it had 4 walls when in fact it only had 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This they made out of like a semi-garage carport thing.
Did somebody just snort?
And
like
also
they
you're
had
not
snot?
sure
I
you're
did.
not sure
That was
whose
you.
point of view
With
this
the
is,
spit
which
cup.
is kind of
Right.
interesting.
You're not sure.
I mean,
You're
I
like,
wonder,
who got there first?
Yeah, who got there first? Little Ange or Leslie
Or was it
Vernon?
the
Do you
bees?
think Leslie Vernon is the scariest name they could have come up with?
I actually think that a lot of the film is
And
disarming.
this scene,
And,
It is
holy
disarming.
crap,
It's-
And whatever
This-
you want to use to just invite people in
Was-
is
Didn't you guys do
appropriate.
about a 35-minute
when were we
stunt
doing?
take
We
here?
did this scene.
And they
It
cut
was
it
like
down?
God, this was hardcore.
3
This
in
was
the
the night
morning.
before we
It
were all
was-
leaving for Thanksgiving break.
exactly.
We
This
were
was
all
our.
just fucking burned out.
We were so burned out, and we were trying to choreograph
We were trying
this
to pull
scene,
this shit off hardcore.
and
The stunt coordinator was like, maybe we'll just do this and this, and we were just like, no, fuck it, let's do this. I mean, we're only gonna get it done once.
I believe I
right.
stepped in.
Let's-
I was like, maybe
let's do
she knees him in the balls.
Yeah,
That was my big
yeah. We
idea.
didn't.
I don't think they used that.
We didn't.
and
Was
the,
it- yeah, the
the
mask was
was
supposed to
supposed to
The mask was supposed to shatter.
and
William
it didn't.
Shatner.
And
Yeah, we had like what 1 hour to go at this point.
And what did you
Before
drink
we
to
had
make
to
your
wrap
voice
up.
like that, dude? Didn't you drink some like honey or something
Powdered non-dairy creamer and water.
Well, that was in the
ADR room.
ADR session.
to make you
yeah.
give that?
Additional dialogue recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at this, my badass chick. Here she goes, and
This
she was
is my
so
favorite
worked
part
up.
of the movie right here, where
She
you
was
do
so worked
the
up.
gas
It was
can.
so great. I was so proud of you, honey. When you were
the underscore.
You do
doing
the
this
gas
part of the
can,
scene.
and it's
Oh,
like
so great.
you're like a little, kid who's way out
well,
of her element.
the
but
thing
you're
that
dealing
was
with this
crazy
gas
about
can.
that scene is that we did that scene,
like,
like
I'm
we
supposed
finished
to-
it, we
Yeah.
we did it, and I don't know whether it was like I'm not sure what happened.
You were out of body.
But afterwards,
you were out of body for probably
I-
like the last hour and a
it
half.
was
of what
something
we were
about like that it was Nathan, but that it was I don't know, but when
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't. I felt like I had
forget your
experienced
stick.
something and it was over.
Don't forget your stick.
And then
You had
Scotty
really
was
tapped
like,
into something
Scotty
else.
was
And you
like,
don't
okay,
want it
we're not going to do
anymore?
it again.
This
And I was
So
so
tough.
this took a
relieved.
few takes.
Oh yes.
Angela, when you finally nailed that on like the 5th take and threw it through
what
the
are you
thing,
saying, Ben? When I finally
No, I'm
nailed
saying
it,
before
it's
that,
like
you were so in it, but it didn't work perfectly.
Right,
But
right.
when you actually hit it, everyone went nuts. I remember, and
Yep.
that was the only one take where you turned around and went to your knees,
Which was so great,
you did
because
the platoon shot.
She just
And
that
it
was
was
the
awesome.
only bit of direction that you'd been given for that scene was to just turn
Throw it
around,
through.
just turn it to the camera because what you were doing
And
was so fucking amazing. And it was like
we actually
God,
burnt down
if
this
we could
building.
just see what's going on there, and you turned it around, and it was just a brilliant shot.
This you would
The
never
only
get
thing
away
that
with in
needed-
Southern California. But
The only
in
thing we
Portland,
Right.
needed was that Darth Vader at the end of episode 3.
this was really cool. We stood in
Let's
front
talk
of this
about the
burning
burning
thing.
of the barn.
Oh,
That we
yeah,
were
that was so
actually
great.
burning that fucking
Yeah.
barn
And it was
down.
right
Burn
there
that
on the
shit
property.
down.
And when we were done, there was like there was
A
ivy
void.
in the shape of the
void.
building that used to be there.
our
Of negative
our
space.
It was
DP
negative
got
face
like
space.
a cinder in his eye and had to.
Oh,
I mean, that was
I believe
real.
halfway
We
through this
were-
scene, because I had like
had
hardcore
the fire
Doc
department
Hollier
was-
on one side and Lovey-Dovey Taylor on the other
The
side.
fire
Right.
department was
One
on
time
hand, ready to put that shit out, and it just
Oh, yeah.
burned and burned and burned. And look,
burned
look,
all the way
look
down.
at this. Look at this shot.
This is cool.
Like you can't time that.
So
And it was
beautiful.
The claps.
Oh,
That-
beauty.
The
know, just that
warmest
little
that
bit,
I ever
yeah.
was in
Yeah.
Portland.
No, and there were like
Right.
huge ash floating around. No, but anyways, I remember one time I kind of
True.
nudged you like in a masculine way, and then I kind of tickled him, and I was like, "Oh, wrong hand."
You were like, wait a minute.
wrong side.
Oh,
And this
it's
song
over.
always nails it. Wow,
Yeah.
that went by
Psycho
quick,
killer.
didn't it?
It sells it. It kind of makes it legit.
Look,
Yeah.
you just totally lose Best. What happened to Best?
Where's Doug? What was Doug Johnson?
But
wasn't
we
it?
know, and now they know.
And actually, in the script, it was
about
Doug the
Best.
sound guy and Todd the cameraman, if I recall.
What's Doug's last name? That's
Johnson,
a challenge
I
for you.
believe. I believe.
Johnson.
Because Ben is such a
this
dick.
is our
And you're the best. It was Doug's second best.
This is our
was my last
our
name.
set design guy,
Oh, that was
Travis
Travis Zwan.
Travis Saruni.
and he
Trav,
he
we
was
love
the
you.
man. He was the guy that got the farmhouse just looking the way it looked, and
And there were actually a couple different, like originally, remember during the credits there was that Eugene kind of Christopher Guest comedy scene, which they
Right.
actually cut out,
Right.
which will hopefully be in your deleted scenes.
Oh, we should do the whose line is it anyway? Read the credits in the style of your choosing.
Okay, E. Larry Day. What's up? I was reading it in the
that was a
choosing,
brilliant start
I was
to
reading
what
it as
promises to
Doug.
be very riveting
Dawn
commentary.
Pavlonis.
The boy band. There you
Delightful
go.
Dawn.
The boy band with the stoners.
Travis Zaruni.
Oh, storyboard artist.
Zaruni.
What's up? I got a second
What's up,
credit.
Benny Pace?
Did we already read scripty?
Ben can draw.
I got a credit.
Storyboard. What?
So-
What?
It should be spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Look,
I love it.
production mascot Bailey Rumsfeld.
That's
Bailey!
Scott's dog.
That's Scott's dog.
Bailey.
Named Bailey.
Bailey, Nathan is trapped in the well.
And
Bailey,
Go get help, Bailey.
But
Go
you-
get help,
get help.
Bailey.
Do you know why his actual name on his papers are Bailey Rumsfeld?
Why?
Because
He's a
he's the
drunk.
Secretary of Defense of whatever address Scott lives at.
We love that.
And also, Scott likes a lot of Bailey's Irish cream.
Although I will point out that Bailey
Scott enjoys the
Bailey
Irish
slept
car
through a
bomb.
burglary.
true,
slept
it's
through a
true.
burglary.
dog ever.
Bailey's still in training. He's
Scott
got to
and
go
Bailey-
back.
Scott and Bailey were
There's Gord-
snuggled up on Scott's bed,
Gordy Hobb did all the
and
sounds.
somebody
rocking.
broke into
He
his
was
house
making
and
love
stole
to
shit.
Bailey. That's how it happened, right? That's
Bailey-
the only way
Stop
that
it.
that
Bailey hung with me
Stop
during
it.
Thanksgiving when everyone else left, but I couldn't afford, so I stuck in this. Yeah, Bailey and I man lunged him.
Ben and
I was
Bailey
contracted-
spooned.
I was
Rudy Chung,
contracted
by the way,
to,
is a good friend of ours.
I was contracted
Good
to
guy.
drive Bailey back from Portland to California. We had a
Yeah.
delightful ride.
Did you get a box rental
psycho
on that?
killer.
No, but you know what? You know what?
Say?
At the rest stops, I would
Kane
stop
Hodder
and walk
is
him. And
Jason.
the whole dog park thing is absolutely fucking true.
What
Hot
is?
chicks with their dogs and talk
Chicks
to
were all
dudes
over you
with
in the dog
dogs.
park? That's
It's a
hot.
good
Do you love
time.
it?
Yeah.
Did we ever get
Do you
a
think this is?
restaurant at Chipotle?
I don't
I
know.
don't think I ever dined at Chipotle.
By the way, when I showed up, I was like,
Well,
Residence
I'm
Inn,
going to be
Residence
waiting
Inn.
for that.
we
you
went to
know.
Residence Inn.
I was like, is this Portland, Oregon? They're
Oregon
like,
Public
it's-
Library.
We
it's
love you,
Courthouse,
Portland.
Oregon.
We love you.
Courthouse.
Actually, that library was the only place I'd ever been prior to going there.
Thank you, Kelly Rowan and Jeff Wadlow.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Mom and Dad and Bro. Holla.
Totally. We love them.
I want to personally thank.
We
Chip
should
and
give a
Gene.
shout out to
Wh-
Beaverton.
why
which
is
is
Beaverton
We
not on
didn't
the list?
actually shoot
I'm
in
sorry.
Beaverton.
But they make
We were near
delicious cheese there.
Really?
Beaverton, Oregon.
Oregon.
I think they make the Tillamook.
Well, this has been lots of
I
fun.
think-
Thanks a lot. Behind the mask
I think
commentary.
we should close on Tillamook.
Tillamook. This has been
Thank you on behalf of Nathan Basil
and Ben
Nathan.
Pace.
and Britton Spellings and,
And
Tiny
Angela.
both.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
I hope you guys like
Au
the
revoir.
movie.
From Alf.
If you guys want to come over, we'll be
Zero
watching at
pay
my
space.
place. Out.